What's going on, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode is brought to you by one of our newest sponsors, Savage Paintball. We are so incredibly excited to be partnered with Savage Paintball. If you guys haven't heard of them, you definitely need to check them out. They make these really amazing customizable boards to where you could set up the layout for whatever tournament it is you are preparing for. For our listeners, if you head over to the YouTube channel, you can check it out. I have one in my hand that I'm showing all of our YouTubers. This board right here is a custom Play the Game podcast board. They use an awesome magnetic technology for the bunkers, and that means that once you set the layout, it's not going anywhere. So you can move it around your living room, into your bedroom. You can put it on your coffee table, bring it up to the cabinet. Wherever you want to put it, you can put it so you could easily store it and pull it out when you want to study. Now, visualization is a tremendously important part of any athlete's career. It's so important to be constantly thinking and trying to visualize the field that you're going to play on. And in paintball, that is especially true. I often used to spend a lot of time just looking at a layout during the week. I'm sure many of you have as well. This gives me an amazing 3D experience where I could actually pick it up and get a good feel for different lanes, different shots, things like that. I truly love it. I think it's a great idea. It's 100% made in the USA. The owner of the company is an awesome dude, and he makes a really great product. And he also offers a 100% money-back guarantee if you're not happy. So these boards are fantastic. We're very excited, as I said, to be partnered with them. And if you guys would like to pick one up, you could get one of these Play the Game podcast custom boards. Or if you would like, you can get one of your very own custom boards with your team logo, your business logo, whatever it is that you would like. If you head over to savagepaintball.com and use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout, you'll get 10% off. And we hope you guys give them a little look. And we hope to see you guys using these things in the future because, again, they are a critical part of your tournament preparation. All right. This show is also brought to you by Transfuse. You guys hear us talk about Transfuse quite a bit. Tyler and I are in love with this product. I actually have one of the packets here in my hand. This is my favorite flavor, the watermelon lime. I love this stuff. I just can't say enough good things about it. I drink 1 or 2 packets every single day, and I've been feeling really good from it. I sweat a lot. It's just, the way my body works, it tries to overcompensate and cool itself down a little too much. And it's always been really hard for me to stay hydrated, but not with Transfuse. I love it. It's so tasty. It's delicious. A lot of people actually have been hitting us up, and they're like, the Transfuse is making me able to drink more water. I love it because it's allowing me to drink more water because it tastes so good. It's like a really delicious lemonade without all the sugar. So I personally love it. I've never had an issue with water. I love water, but I love water with Transfuse even more. This stuff, again, it has potassium, magnesium, sodium, all of your main electrolytes, but it also has really good brain-boosting vitamins in vitamin C, zinc. Zinc is fantastic for your immune system as well, and vitamin B. Again, just can't say enough good things about Transfuse. We absolutely love this stuff. You guys could head over to translabs.com. That's TRANZLABS.com and use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout. You will also get 10% off. It's a fantastic way to support the show and take care of your body. We greatly appreciate it, and we hope you guys get to enjoy this stuff. If you do get some, take a picture with it. Tag us. We'd love to see it on Instagram. This show is also brought to you by G2 Paintball. You guys definitely know what G2 Paintball is by now. G2 Paintball is a paintball athletics company that is designed to make you a better paintball athlete. I can't stress this enough. Whatever sport it is that you are playing or whatever activity it is that you are training for, you need to train accordingly. In paintball, it's not going to help if I go run 5 miles a day. That is not going to get me into paintball shape, right? Paintball condition is an entirely different thing, and G2 Paintball is geared around all of the movements that we use in paintball, and it's going to help you have the right endurance, the right fitness, the right speed, agility, all sorts of stuff to make you a better paintball player on the field. You guys could head over to G2 Paintball to check them out, and the company is owned and operated by our very own Rusty Glaze and Victor Gamboa. We absolutely love those guys and full support for them, obviously. Tyler and I will be doing some of the camps with G2 Paintball in the future as well, so we hope to see you at them. Without further ado, we're going to hop into this show. Tyler and I just sat down and got caught up on some of the current events that are going on, talked about some old paintball stories, and had a really good time. So we'll see you in there.
That was an insane inside move by Marcello Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
Came out with 2 wins. Marcello Margot was on fire.
T-Harm, baby!
Yeah, let's go.
What's up?
Oh,
What's
not
up,
much,
dude?
man. Just the same old, just being a lizard out here in the desert. What are you doing?
I mean, it looks like you're in a tropical paradise. Did you take a quick flight to Hawaii or something?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had to ditch the desert for a second. Shout out to my YouTubers. I'm actually in paradise right now. You can go check that out.
I
had to take a little vacay from the desert and get out here to the ocean.
I get it, dude. I love it. For all of our podcast listeners, I think you guys realize by now, Tyler transcends in from somewhere different every single time. He's on a little tropical paradise there, dude. That looks amazing. My God. I would love to get away to, I mean, I'm in San Diego. It's not far off from that.
Yeah.
I could go down to the beach and it's pretty similar, not going to lie. But that water, that is just crystal blue, nice and clear.
Yeah, Ryan's out there somewhere. He tagged along too. He's riding some waves out there. We're having a good time, you know?
Yeah, he's on his new electronic motor surfboard that he got.
Holy moly. Yeah, that thing's crazy.
Looks insane, dude. Looks
Yeah,
like so much fun.
It's like handheld control with like this engine underneath of a surfboard, and then it kind of like glides up out of the water as well.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's totally
crazy.
nuts. It rips too. That thing goes fast. I've been seeing all of his videos. If you guys haven't, go check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and even his daughter was on it too. He had a little Sloan out there ripping around.
I love that, dude.
Good times. Yeah.
So what's up, man? What have you been up to today?
Today I packed my little one in a stroller, and Theo was riding a bike, and we went for a run. Been getting some stuff going for Play the Game and the show and everything, and we've been selling some merch, which is cool, and packaging stuff up. And then, making food for the wife, make sure that she's fed while she's working. She's working from home. So got to make sure the troops are all fed over here.
I love it, dude. You are the man of all the talents. You just hold it down over there. And Sarah too. Sarah's great, man. Jesus. You guys are a great team.
That's it. And that is what it is, man. Like, I am a Taurus, right? I'm a stubborn old bull. She's a Scorpio, and we like everything that I'm lacking, she picks up, and vice versa. But she's not lacking anything. She's completely perfect, as all women are, So it's just like this good relationship that we have, and it works phenomenally.
Take notes, kids. I remember when I was growing up, my dad and my older brother always would say to me,
yeah,
you just wait, son. You're going to because I would see them give in on stuff. I'm like, you guys don't really want to do that. Why are you giving in? And they're like, you'll see one day. Yeah. And I to this day, God rest my dad's soul. But I went out saying, Dad, no, I'm going to stick to being stubborn. It hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out that great. You're right. You got to make the lady happy. They deserve it. They're amazing. They're angels. They hold it all together.
That's right, man. We're nothing without them. Yeah. So it's definitely, a juggling act with the kids. And we've been putting out a lot of content, which has been so much fun and inspiring to be connecting with the community the way that we have been. But yeah, it's just been fun, just rocking and rolling. Like we always say, bob and weave. We're bobbing and weaving and just having fun.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what it's all about. This whole journey has been crazy, and we've been so busy. And thank you to everyone that's listening that has supported with the merchandise and with everything Tyler and I have been putting out there. Absolutely. We're having a blast with it. We love when you guys message us. We feel like, it's a big community we're building, and it's just all about paintball. It's all about playing the game and having fun.
That's it, man. Dude, it was so cool. We got a message from this awesome guy. Congratulations to him. He's having a baby soon. And he's like, don't worry, I packed my Play the Game shirt. I'm going to take a picture with this newborn child. And we were like, what? That's amazing.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty unbelievable. Shout out to Richard, right? And I'm not going to say his last name because I think I mispronounced it. It's Gaeta or Gaeta. I said I wasn't going to say it, and I said it.
Yeah. That's how that goes.
He's going to have to clarify on that, but he's the man, dude. Another big supporter of the show. Much appreciation.
Yeah, it's been cool, dude. Just connecting with everybody. It's the best.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, dude, we decided we wanted to hop on because we wanted to kind of get current, tell some old travel stories, and have
Yeah.
a good time, have some fun conversation. But let's
Mhm.
start with what's going on, man. Because again, crazy times. As you know, when we started this show, crazy times with quarantine, everyone being shut back down.
Yeah.
And here you are in Arizona. You were giving me a lot of shit, saying, "Oh, told you, bro, you got to be out here in Arizona because
Yeah.
California was on lockdown, and now." My
Yeah.
gyms are open. My restaurants are open. I had a nice workout this morning. I had a good meal.
Yeah.
And all your stuff's closed down, dude.
It's true. It is. I'm locked up. I told you guys I was a show ago or whatever. I was like, you guys are gonna get me locked up. So here I am. I'm locked up again. We got at least 30 days in the slammer I'm looking at. Um, I got no gym. Thankfully,
It's
we
like,
got we got some food. So we should be good in that aspect. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I have to work out. So I'm gonna be, out at the park doing my regiments out there. I have some little weights.
because working out's important, right?
I would have to agree that you want to know what? It's not important for paintball. No, I'm joking. No, it's you know
Shout out
what?
to Alex and
Yeah,
Oliver.
exactly. Dude, Alex and Oliver, legends of the game. They don't need to do anything. They just pull up and
True.
shoot, baby. You know what I
That's
mean?
called wizardry.
That's right, wizardry.
Straight
But
magicians.
yeah, they are, dude, mystical creatures.
That's true.
So for me, exercise, of course, I want to be in shape for paintball, but dude, it just makes me feel great. It
Right.
changes my whole outlook on the rest of the day. It makes you feel physically good, mentally good. There's just something to be said about even if you're doing small exercises or whatever, it really does have a profound effect.
Well, it rewires your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
It's a proven thing, right? And so
Hmm.
it absolutely has a long lasting effect. You exercise, you release endorphins, you feel good. When you feel good, you're confident. When you're confident, you're going to perform better. You're going to live better. You're going to do things better. It's no hidden secret. That's why there's tons of studies around it. I understand. I think the point they were trying to make was you're not practicing paintball, but I
Yeah.
think they're missing what I mean when I say the gym's important as well. I think they're missing what I understand that it does. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Yeah.
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But
It is what it is.
it is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, so what are you going to be doing to exercise, man?
Well, I have this crazy like medicine ball. It's like a 10-pound weight on a rod that I use to do like upper body stuff. I also have a pull-up bar, which don't even get me started on this pull-up bar.
No, let's tell the
Dude.
story. That's funny.
Yeah. So I go on Amazon, right? And it's like we're in quarantine nation right now, and I want to get a pull-up bar. So I order this thing. It takes 2 months. They're saying it's lost. I thought it was gone forever. It shows up at my door last week. And I open the box and there's no hardware. There's no hardware for the thing. So I can't even put it together.
You
Oh
just
man.
have the bars, no screws,
That's
no
it.
bolts, no.
Yeah.
nuts.
It's like
Oh
a
my god.
story, the story of my life, no hardware, just the bolts are all loose and gone. Um, yeah, so now I got to go to Home Depot and build this pull-up bar in Home Depot with everybody watching me, which is going to be sweet. Can't wait for
That
that.
that's really funny, dude. Pull-up
Yeah,
bars are major. You could do so
it's
many different
huge,
full body exercise on pull-up bars.
dude.
I have
It's
a I have a
everything.
I have a really funny story about pull-ups.
Oh no.
I don't know, like if you've ever noticed or realized it's better now, but when I was younger, so when I first started working out pretty consistently, I was probably 17, 18 years old is when I really started getting consistent with it.
Yeah.
And I thought wide pull-ups worked out your chest.
Whoa.
Now chest can be like a secondary or a third effect from wide pull-ups, but it's
For sure.
mainly a back exercise, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing these wide pull-ups multiple times a week thinking, oh yeah, I'm beefing up my chest. Like, hey, chest and buys is all you want to
Yeah.
do when you're a kid. You're just trying to look good at the beach for a spring
That's
break
it.
or whatever. So I'm doing all of these, pull-ups every time I'm at the gym. And I was like, man, my chest just isn't getting it that big. And I have like an insanely developed back, you know?
Yeah.
And
The
so now it's
opposite, the exact opposite of what you
the,
wanted.
the opposite. So it's so funny that must have been for like a year, a full year. I thought I was
Whoa,
maybe longer, to be honest. I thought I was
dude.
working out my chest. I was never doing anything else for my chest. I was just doing these wide pull-ups thinking
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's, getting
Oh
me in my
yeah.
chest.
I'm getting it right now.
Dude,
Let's go.
I don't understand how because I must have been sore in my back. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I for sure was not working out my chest for a long time. And now I spend way more time on my chest now because for so long I was like, man, I was just neglecting it, thinking I was working on it. That's pretty funny. It's
Dude,
pretty
that's
funny. Funny
you were
story.
like, man, I don't know why, but my back hurts after doing all this chest workout. Yeah.
It's crazy. I was
Dude,
just a kid.
the pull-up bar is fundamental for my health. Like, because I can do my abs, you hang from it, and I lift the legs and stick the legs out and do a bunch of different ab workouts from the side, the obliques, all that kind of stuff. And
Right.
then
Which is great for snap shooting,
of course,
gunfighting, right?
yeah, that's right.
Massive. Mhm.
Absolutely, dude. And that's why I do it, is for that reason
Yeah,
specifically. Like,
totally. Me
and
too.
I found this cool way of holding the medicine ball. You could see in our YouTube video
I know
that,
exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
yeah, on our YouTube video, Play the Game is for YouTube. We have a video of like some workouts I did before Pro Tour. There's these cool medicine balls with like handles on them, and you can kind of snap shoot with them. And that really works that out as well. But yeah, pull up bar is fundamental. You got to have that.
Yeah, totally, dude. I agree. There's so many cool things you can do on a pull-up bar that is like a full body type exercise. If
Yeah,
you have that with like maybe a little ab roller and some bands that you can do some squats with some resistance and
totally.
some like side steps and things like that with resistance bands on your feet. That's huge. That's that got me through the quarantine. I'm excited that the gym's open. That's great, but
For
it's
sure.
also it's also a little weird being in there because, dude, I go in there and then some days I'm super confident. Other days I'm like,
Yeah.
we don't know
It's,
much about this virus, dude. Still,
yeah.
it's still kind of scary and it's still
And
I'm
you
unsure.
also
So
have to wear a mask while you work out. Is that right?
yeah, 100%. And it is actually really tough. But
Yeah.
I look at that as like, okay, this is like because I used to use those oxygen resistant masks, right?
Why
So
don't you should still use that? That way you're banging both things. You're getting the.
well, it's the same thing. It's the
Oh,
same
is
thing.
it?
Yeah, so those masks, all they actually do is restrict the amount of oxygen you can breathe in. They don't do
Uh huh.
anything special in regards to like changing the altitude or anything like that. They literally
I
just
see.
restrict the amount of air you get in. So
Okay.
so it really is very similar.
Yeah. My biggest fear with the mask is that you're breathing in your own carbon dioxide. Does the like the elevation mask allow that carbon dioxide to get out, and then you can get, you know?
Yeah, but both masks allow air to come out. Like I could
Okay.
blow through my mask, and it's not totally sealed, but I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying. The
Yeah.
elevation mask might be a little better,
Yeah.
and I don't know why, because I said throughout all of quarantine that I was going to wear that thing as soon as I go back to the gym, and I've been wearing my HK one, which is
There we go.
actually the HK one. They have the black one, and they just sent me some more, which is awesome because now I have two. So
Nice.
now I can wear the really nice one. I'm going to use that in the gym
There we go.
which also filters stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's pretty legit. So
The one with the air filters on the cheeks, the new one.
yeah, the
Yeah.
new one.
With
So
the it has like the charcoal
yep,
filter. Yeah.
yep. So
Nice.
I didn't want to use my only good one in the gym. I sweat a
For
lot,
sure.
dude.
Oh
We
yeah, you do. Dude,
I was
you're
talking about this,
you're an
bro.
animal.
It's crazy, which is why shout out to
Yeah.
Transfuse. I gotta hydrate so well,
That's it. And
100%.
dude, shout out to Transfuse for sure.
Shout
Yeah,
out, yeah,
it's a game changer when you're taking that stuff for hydration. It really is.
totally. And I sweat
Yeah.
like an animal, and I cramp my body. It's really tough for me to maintain
Yep.
the right levels. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's tough in the gym. I'm like doing my exercises and you can't breathe properly,
Mhm.
and it makes every bit of my workout seem that much more difficult. But at the same time, it's kind of similar to paintball. You put a mask on and it's not as
Exactly.
restrictive. It's not as
Yeah.
restrictive, but it's still restrictive.
For sure.
It's not like having nothing on your face, no matter what mask you wear. I've never put on a mask where I feel completely
Mm-mm.
unrestricted. You
Mhm.
know, the
Mhm.
bottom line is there is something in front of your face that you're breathing into.
For sure. And a
Um,
lot of people don't realize that before they're like, they want to be the best at paintball, and then they put this mask on, they're like, "Oh boy." Once you
yeah,
go inside that thing, you're breathing that hot air on yourself. It's hard
yeah,
to, it's just a whole nother world inside the mask.
totally,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, so
It's crazy.
it's been weird, but it's also, dude, it's just been really good to be able to exercise and kind of get back into the groove there. There's a lot of stuff that we can still do outdoors that I love to do, hill sprints and just
Mhm.
being outside in general, but I don't like to run.
Mhm.
Going for long runs isn't good for my knees. It's not good for
Mhm.
anyone's knees, period. It's a
Yeah.
bad thing for your knees. You're breaking down your cartilage. You're damaging your joints. It's not good. It truly does lead to arthritis and stuff like that. It's great exercise and it does a lot of good stuff, but
Yeah.
for the knees and joints, it's not good. So me already having some knee injuries, I don't have the luxury of having a little bit that I can give
Yeah.
up in that area. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
I got to be really mindful of my joints and all of that kind of stuff. So
What about like jumping, plyo type stuff? Does
yeah,
that work for you? There we go.
that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's so when you have the forward momentum, it's not when I'm pushing off in a run, it's the front foot that is hitting the ground that is actually having a little bit of the stop, right?
Mm.
So, when you run, your front foot hits the ground, it doesn't slide, it stops and then you
Yeah.
catch up with it in a sense, right? That's really what's bad. Anything downhill is not good for the knees.
Yeah.
Uphill sprints on grass is fantastic. I
For
feel like
sure.
it's pretty low impact on my joints. I put my cleats on. I'm on a soft turf, and it's all forward momentum, right? I'm never stopping when I'm running uphill. Your front foot is never forced to stop because your momentum's kind of carrying you. So,
Yeah.
for anyone out there with any sort of knee issues, or even if you don't have knee issues and you want to preserve longevity, it's really smart to
Yeah.
do that kind of exercise instead of
For
traditional
sure.
running and things like that.
Yeah, and I will run like once a week just to cuz it really does just kind of lock everything in.
It feels
Um
good, dude. It feels
it
good to run, man. It
It does.
does.
So I don't make that my main source of like cardio. I do a lot of like stuff just in my house. You can do it right in your house, just squatting, wall sits, different types of exercises. And then, but the biggest thing for me that I've found is jumping, dude. Jumping helps my paintball game so much.
Yes.
It's huge
Yes.
because in paintball, you're in your bunker and you kind of jump. You gotta release from that bunker.
It's fast twitch muscle fibers that you're using.
That's right. Yeah. So it's just working on that fast twitch muscle and getting that explosive. And it's through jumping. I do a bunch of different jumping exercises, hops, side lateral step type stuff. And
Yep.
it really helps the paintball game a lot.
Yeah, totally, Ty. That's huge. I mean, fitness it really is such a big part of all sports. And
Yeah.
in paintball, you look at the top players. I'm going to put yourself in that. Obviously, I'm going to put Malloy. I'm going to put Alex Goldman. I'm going to put Chad George. All of these guys are insane athletes. You
Mhm.
know, um, I like to put myself up in that category. I'm in pretty good shape, and
Absolutely.
I know for sure fitness helps me big time.
For
I
sure.
know when I'm feeling confident in my movements and my flexibility and my agility and my speed and my strength.
Mhm.
I'm just way more crisp out there. Bottom line, my
Mhm.
snapshot is smoother. My running and shooting is smoother. I can make bunkers better than other people. It's a big part of the game.
Absolutely, dude. It's crucial. You've
Yeah.
got to be feeling, and like some people will like work out almost to their detriment, where they work out and hurt themselves. So you have
Yeah.
to keep a good balance.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I used
if
to do that.
yeah, for
I
sure.
did. I used to think like I did used to overwork out, and actually, it's very recently that I really found the sweet spot. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
maybe because I'm getting older, so I have less of the energy. I don't know, but I've definitely found the sweet spot. You want to work out really hard and heavy,
Uh-huh.
and about a week before the event, you want to really ease up.
That's
All of
right.
the work all the work should be
That's right.
done, and you wanna
That's right.
rest and come in with the freshest body. You're not gonna
Mhm.
lose fitness in that week. You're
No.
gonna be fresh, and that's,
Yeah.
that really I mean, it played a big key in Vegas. In Vegas, I had probably the best routine that I've ever had leading up to an event. I had 2 months of training,
Yeah.
right? And it started out kinda light, and it picked up, and over a couple
Yeah.
weeks, it was extremely intense. I was just brutalizing myself,
Yeah.
like
And that
killing
has to
myself.
happen. That is
Yeah.
totally necessary, but some people will do it too close to what they need to
Yes.
be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You gotta give
exactly.
that time to repair.
Exactly. What I was doing is on the 2 so I was working out heavily a month before,
Yeah.
and then we had the layout weekends, and on the first layout weekend, I worked out really hard Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to where I was pretty much dead. So I simulated an event, a 3-day event, right?
Yeah.
And then I gave myself 1 day on Friday to rest, and then I went into practice Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday, I worked out again as if it was Sunday, as if it was Sunday at the tournament, right? The 3rd day to where you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be exhausted, and that's when you have to win, so you gotta really push yourself in that moment. Um,
Totally.
Yeah. And then the second weekend of practice, which is the weekend before the event, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was on chill mode, dude. I went to a float tank. I was stretching. I was
Yeah.
just chilling. And I got to Vegas feeling so good Thursday morning,
Mhm.
my body was fresh. Everything was feeling 100%. I felt like I was in the best shape of my life, to be honest. And it really was from rest. And I've always heard, you always hear people say, especially in fitness, like you got to rest. Your body needs rest too. You can't work out every day. It
Mhm.
sets you back. You actually need a day to recover. And as a kid, you don't want to hear those things or believe them. You're like, no, but I could still go to the gym. I'm working on my muscles, you know?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
dude, your body does need rest, and it makes a huge difference on everything. Mental
Totally.
clarity, mental fatigue is a big part of it as well. And when you rest, your mind recovers. And I notice when I'm working out too much, I wake up and I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't feel like getting out of bed,
Yeah.
because you're everything's run down, everything's depleted. So you
Yeah.
want to let that boost too. So you wake up and your mind is sharp, your body's sharp. So
That's
you
it,
gotta,
man.
yeah, it's a great,
You
you gotta
gotta
manage it into the event.
got to recharge, dude. You have, it's a physical universe we live in, and that physical body needs recharging just like everything else. You got to recharge the cells. Everything is going to be heightened once you give it that time to recharge, for sure. It's crucial. And I found that out recently, kind of like you have within maybe the last 4 years or so, how important that is, giving those few extra days to really charge up.
Yeah, maybe it's just because 'cause we're getting older. If
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
think
notice
so.
it
We're for
before,
sure getting older. Yeah. Yeah.
now we need rest. What the hell is this,
Yeah.
dude?
No, it's crucial. Like even before I played Keith, I worked out like a maniac. But then I gave myself like 5 days where I was just like stretching like you said, doing
Breathing, doing your
breathing.
stuff.
Yeah, and then also it gives me time when I'm doing my stretching and my breathing and focusing on, all that, to think about the game. I'm like, when you're working out, maybe you're just thinking about different things, I don't know, but I was just so focused on how I was going to approach that paintball game and how I was going to play him, and that rest time also gives you time to just dissect things too.
Dude, major. When I went to
Yeah.
the float tank, the deprivation tank, for those that don't know what it is, you essentially get in a salt-loaded bath that is completely covered. You get in a literal tank. It's pitch black. You shut the door and you
Yeah.
float, and it's sensory deprivation. So you basically don't hear anything. You're not supposed to feel anything. It's the water is body temperature. So
Uh-huh.
you're literally just sitting there floating, and you have an hour in the pitch black to just you can sit
Yeah.
there and meditate. You could visualize. A lot of athletes use it for visualization. You can
Uh-huh.
go in there for just straight meditation as well. And I was just I spent 30 minutes thinking about the Vegas layout, everything on that layout.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, if someone gets into this spot and I'm here, I have to make this fill. If they go over here, then I need to do this. If we lose this guy, I need to call for Tyler to look left. Like
Yeah.
all of these things in a very controlled setting, I was going over. And then the last 30 minutes, I tried to just think of nothing, focus on my breathing, let
Yeah.
things totally clear out. Dude,
Yeah.
when I got out of that tank, I
You're
felt
new.
like
You're
I was
new.
on I felt like I was on drugs, dude.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
You're a brand
literally
new person.
I did it at night and I was like walking to my car like wobbly.
Yeah.
Dude, it
For
was
sure.
crazy. I felt amazing, dude.
Absolutely.
It was unreal.
If
And
you
then
read any of these self-proclaimed help books or mastery books, it's all about being in the moment, like you were, and visualization of what you're trying to attain. You cannot have that which you cannot see. You've got to hold it in your mind's eye if you're going to bring it to reality. There's no two ways about it. The biggest things that we can do to accomplish our goals is to write them down and look at them and visualize them and be grateful for having them. When you give gratitude for what you don't have, it's already working itself into the universe to come back to you. It's like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's this crazy energy force that we're a part of, and it comes from your thoughts, and you've got to visualize in order to attain anything in this reality. That's just the way it is.
well, if you don't visualize it, you're never going to be able to put the actions in place to actually do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
visualization is a big part of all sports. The more
Mm-hmm.
you can visualize something, the more prepared you are mentally for when that situation happens. When that situation happens, you're not scrambling mentally to make the best of it. You're already prepared. You're composed.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can handle it the right way. So yeah, man, visualization is important in all aspects of life.
For sure.
100%, all
Yeah.
aspects, you know.
I mean, that's something we use on and off the field. Like we created this the whole thing out of nothing a couple months ago. We were just like, hey, you're pretty cool. You want to be best friends? Awesome. Let's do this. And then we're like, okay, we're doing this. And then we've been visualizing, we've been creating and having fun. And when you
Yeah.
do it from a golden space of your heart and you're having fun, it happens even faster. When you have passion and you really believe in it and your blood starts to, get moving and you feel that energy, that's when the things manifest even quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like golf right now, dude. I'm
Yeah.
fucking pumped on golf, dude. I'm so pumped. Dude, I'm watching videos. I called up my friends from high school that I know are honestly
That's awesome.
should have been pro golfers. I had
Yeah.
them take me out to the driving range. They're giving me lessons, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay. And it's funny. It's a total ego check, dude. It's so humbling because you go from being a master in one thing to a nobody or a zero in another, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. I'm learning all of these new techniques and
Yeah.
things that, like, I understand the formula that it takes to get good at something. So I can ask the right questions, which is great, but
Yeah.
I'm clueless. And
Mhm.
so I'm just listening to these tips and then you see a little bit of it pay off, and you tweak your shot a little bit this way and it pays off. And I'm like, dude, I'm
Yeah.
so hooked to that process, and visualization is huge.
Mhm.
Dude, after I went to the golf course with Maddie, Ryan, and Kyle, I was literally visualizing shooting the golf ball all night. I was laying in bed just thinking about different hits that I had
And
earlier that day.
it's all club face angle, right? It's all about your club
Yeah,
face angle.
that's a big one.
And then also your
Well,
feet positioning, the
it's
way that you
everything, dude.
there's so
You're
many different there's a lot of different, and it's cool because this is like a whole new muscle memory thing you have to figure out.
Yeah, totally. And you
Yeah.
you played golf in high school, right, Ty?
I played golf in high school. I wanted to, like, golf, snowboarding, and paintball are my three favorite sports of all time. Like, that's, if I could just play three sports forever, that would be them. And in high school I was going to play for the team. I actually was on the team. Paintball got in the way. I was like, see you later, golf, playing paintball.
It happens, it's
Yeah,
same kind of thing. But
totally.
yeah, I mean, golf is so intricate, it's so technical. You're right,
Yeah, it
like
is.
what angle your shoulders are when you pull
Yeah,
back, your hip, everything, dude.
yeah,
Everything is so technical, and so I'm in love with that process of learning how
totally.
to get better at it. And I mean, honestly, I've played 7 days so far, right? I'm keeping track of how many days,
There we
and
go.
the progress is really good. I can feel it,
For
and I'm
sure.
like, man, this
You've
is
told me. Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm hitting these balls. Like, I was just at the driving range yesterday, and I started to almost consistently hit around 180, 190
There we
yards
go.
straight, though,
Yeah.
and so, like, I know it's not that far. I want to break 200, and
Yeah.
I was so pissed because all day my goal was to break 200 yards, and my very last shot, I hit 198, and it rolled past the 200 mark. Because I was doing it, I paid the extra, so you have the virtual
Oh, nice.
guide thing behind you on the
Yeah.
screen, so that you can see like how far you're
There we
hitting.
go. That's tight.
Totally, yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
I was fucking 2 yards off of my goal, dude. It
They
was
were
literally the last ball in my
they
bucket. I
were
was pissed.
they were dangling the carrot
They,
in front of you. They're like, here you
yeah,
go, buddy.
they dangled the damn carrot, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
it's such a great game. Like, just all around, it will test you. It's the most, like, mental game ever. It will really test you mentally, and
yeah,
obviously the physicality comes into play. The biggest thing that I found with golf is, are you right-handed or left-handed?
right-handed.
Okay, so your right arm, you hold it, like, some people will bend their elbow. You want to keep that right arm completely straight when you're hitting. Or I'm sorry, your left arm.
The left,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, the
your
left.
left arm, and
Yep.
keep that one straight, and then it creates like this angle, and then
Yeah.
you're like a protractor almost.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
can just start to
100%.
get that shot
100%.
down. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun. We
It's
got to
funny.
play.
We will too. Dude, we get to play golf until we grow real old,
Yeah.
man. Like, that's amazing. I think that's the coolest thing is like,
Yeah,
we get to do this until we're, I don't know,
totally.
70, 80, who knows? Like,
Yeah, and
and
we'll be able to have the show and play some golf, and we'll start a play the game golf company. It'll be great.
Exactly, dude. I was actually, it's so funny. I was talking to Dan the man about that today, dude. I was like,
Yeah,
we get, for the viewers that don't know Dan the man, we kind of brushed over him before. He's like an adoptive father, from when I was
Yeah.
younger, but he's truly just one of my best friends of all time. Love the guy to death. He's been a
Yeah.
great inspiration, taught me a lot. I have lunch with him all the time, but today, we're talking about play the game, and I was like, You just wait until we have a play the game golf school.
Dude, we'll just have all the best golfers come and teach for our company. It'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, play the game. It could do anything.
There we go.
Yeah,
Let's
man,
go.
golf is great. I know we talked like 15 years. If I can make it to the tour, that'd be tight.
Yep, I'm gonna be your caddy. You go get them, baby. I can't wait. It's gonna be
Hell
amazing.
yeah. Hell yeah, dude. We're gonna live the good life. We're gonna be sipping Mai Tais on that beach behind
That's
you.
right.
There.
I'll bring you out to the beach that I'm at and you can come hang out and we'll have a good time, dude. That golf is so amazing. It's just like you got all these guys trying to hit this little golf ball into this tiny hole, half a mile down the road. It's just insane. It's a fun game.
It is crazy. It is totally.
Yep. So, hey, have you, what's like a new song you've been listening to or something for the listeners? What do you got for us?
Oh, shit. A new song.
Yeah.
So,
Or a song. What's your favorite song you've been rocking out? You had a song going when I got on the show with you.
Yeah. I know. I don't even know what that was. My Spotify was just playing. I couldn't shut it off. So I've actually been, I'm weird with music. I listen to all kinds of music, right?
Yeah.
I listen to every genre pretty much. And it really, I'm a Gemini and I don't believe everything they say about your zodiac sign and stuff like that. I just don't. But there are some weird similarities that I read, and I'm like, damn, dude, that actually fits. I change my mind on shit a lot. You've learned that, we always talk about stuff. So music, it really is dependent on my mood. Sometimes I like rap, sometimes I like hip hop, sometimes I like R&B, sometimes I like jazz, sometimes I like rock. Dude, I've been actually the last couple of days when I go down to the beach, I put on some Sugar Ray, some throwback, and I'm just vibing, and it's great. It really depends, dude. It totally depends. I listen to some country.
Shout out to Oakdale, bud. I grew up in Modesto, and Oakdale was the city right next. Oakdale's the cowboy capital of the world. It's like where they filmed all the old Western movies back in the day.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Oakdale, bud. And
I'm gonna give two songs. One that I this one I kind of just recently recycled. I found it in my old library, but it's called No Matter Where You Are by Adam Friedman. Yeah. It's a vibe. It's very vibey. And then another one, actually, this has kind of been my go-to when I've been in the gym. Yeah. And you turned me on to this when we were driving to the airport in Arizona. Do you know what song it is?
Oh man, is it that crazy Anunnaki guy?
No. Derek Pope, GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye is hard,
dude. That's like my favorite song right now. It's really good, dude. It's just super vibey and it kind of gets me a little pumped up. So,
oh, dude, yeah, that one had me supercharged. I forgot when I found that. It was like last year or something. I was like, okay, now we're talking. Yeah. What's the name on that one again? GoldenEye.
Derek Pope is the artist.
Derek Pope, that's right.
Yeah, dude, that song's dope. It played when you were dropping me off at the airport, and I don't even know if I said anything to you, but I was like, oh yeah, this one.
You were like, oh, who's this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been the song that I've been rocking out to is this dude. His name is Buddy, just Buddy. And it's this song called Shine, and it's just such a good song. It's great. Check it out.
Buddy?
Yeah, Buddy. His name is Buddy.
I'm gonna download that right now for all the listeners. I recommend you do it too. Tyler usually has bangers.
Yeah, Shine by Buddy's going right now. I love that one. Yep, and then just been reading some books and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've honestly been doing more. So every Friday, Spotify, if you have Spotify, they release all their new music and they curate playlists for you and stuff. And I usually wait for Fridays, and it's pretty cool. I can hop on and see if there's any cool new songs that I like. But there honestly hasn't been some great new music. My nephew is in the band The Neighborhood. They're pretty popular. They have that song Sweater Weather that really kind of blew them up a couple of years ago. They did just come out with a new song. I forget the name, but it was really sick. I just heard it today. Oh God, man, I forgot what it is. The Neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to waste time going to find it, but I just noticed they came out with the new song. I'm like, okay, cool. But music hasn't. It's just I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately. Go figure, But I love listening to the Rogan podcast. I listen to a lot of them. Yeah, Jocko has a really good podcast.
It helps us with staying sharp and being as professional as we can be with the creation of this show as well.
Oh yeah, totally. That for sure. I just, man, I learned so much from these shows. It's great. I love the guests that some of these people have, and podcasts are really a great way to absorb information when you're driving to work or when you're going to the gym or when you're at the gym or when you're doing chores around the house. You
Yeah,
know, it's a great way to absorb information or entertainment, whatever you're into, you know.
for sure.
Um,
Yeah,
it's
I love podcasts.
cool. Yeah, it's good. They're growing.
Yeah, and like the book that I've been really into lately has been Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's a really good book if you look into that.
Coming
And
supernatural. Now I understand why. Okay, all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he breaks down a lot of like barriers in the mind and kind of
Sure.
teaches you a lot about how powerful you are, because we are, every single one of us, whether you know it or not, you hold a lot of power in creating the reality around you. It's all about just flipping that switch and going and getting it and being a creator.
100%, Ty. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, absolutely. We
that's
we
it, dude.
we are in control of our lives, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that, or they do
Yeah.
realize it and I don't know, they don't take advantage of it. I wish everybody out there
Yeah,
took
well, it's
advantage of
easy. It's easy to blame and make excuses. That's why. And you know, when you change your life into a perspective of taking full responsibility, like even the ugly, terrible things and the things that I'm like, why? Why is this happening? I like to say it's my fault. Like I don't know. It empowers me, and I take responsibility. You know, and then that opens chambers. You know.
Absolutely, dude. You could always look at it and say, well, maybe I should have done this differently and this wouldn't have been the outcome instead of pointing your finger at somebody else, which is out of your control. You
Yeah.
only got to look inward and find out what's in your control. And you know what? You might even find sometimes this 100% wasn't my fault,
Yeah.
but it's a bad situation and that sucks, but then you gotta realize that's life. So how am I gonna get
Yeah.
out of this? It's unfair. It's definitely
Mhm.
unfair, but how am I gonna get out of this?
Yeah, and
Rather
you
than
can totally.
yeah, you know, rather than pointing fingers and being upset saying, you know, poor me, which you see so many people do, you got to find a way out, man. Like we
Yeah.
live one life and whatever you believe in, if you believe in an afterlife, if you're atheist, religious,
Mhm.
spiritual, whatever it is, we have to spend an average of 80 years on this planet with other people. Right.
Yeah.
So how are you going to spend that? You know, you
Yeah.
should spend it good. I hope that you
Yeah.
spend it happy because
Mhm.
that's what's most important is being happy. That truly is. You know, you ask people all the time about success. I know you and I talk about this a lot. To me, it's, are you happy? You know, like that's such a big part of it. If you're happy, then really what else matters? I don't know. Can you provide for your family? Do you make enough to make, you know, to where you're comfortable? That's something to some people. Are you doing something that you love? How does your success affect others? Is it in a negative way? Okay, well, if it's in a negative way, then no matter how much money you make, you're probably not that successful in my eyes. That's my opinion. That's my version of success.
Yeah.
If you know, don't make as much money, but you have a good impact on a lot of people, are you considered extremely successful to me? Absolutely. You know, and so everyone has their own perception, but at the end of the day, man, it's happiness.
Yeah, and you know, also being unhappy is completely natural too. And like I know that I've had my most production from like being unhappy
Mm.
or not being where I want to be, and
Mm.
that's okay too. It's just what are we
Yeah.
gonna do, right? What are
Yeah.
we gonna do? And that's where the X factor lies. That's where the kicker's at. That's where the real magic happens, and you can choose to create your reality. However, and that's the slippery slope. Either way you slice it, it's like here we
Yeah.
go. You know, what are we gonna do here? And it's all equal. There's no judgment. There's no. It doesn't hold water in one way heavier than the other. It's just what are we gonna do? You know, how are we going to create this? And that's where we can really have a lot of growth and opportunity to create, you know, the most loving realities that we possibly can, and you know, move into higher frequencies and not really be in these low frequencies that we see killing, we see lots of bad things happening. That's, you know, we've got to move into higher frequencies and just start supporting each other as a culture, as a family, as a people, as a planet. This is all about Team Earth, baby. You know what I mean? Like this is play the game Team Earth, and we are Team Earth, and we got to really support that.
Yeah, totally. You actually touch on a good point, Ty, and that is that being unhappy is okay too.
Yeah,
I have months where I have way more unhappy days than happy days. That's a fact,
for
you know.
sure. And I've
There's
been there too. Yeah.
there's been some really tough months, and I think it's important for people to understand that being a happy person or an optimistic person does not mean that you are happy all the time and that you
Yeah.
ignore the bad hardships of life. That's not what it means at all. It means that you have the understanding that things will get better if you do the work. that
Yeah.
you can get yourself out of whatever is keeping your mindset down. To me, that's what optimism is. It's not always looking at everything in a good way. It's realizing when you are down and you're going through a tough time, all right, if I do the work, I'm going to be able to get myself out of this and I'm going to
Yeah.
feel good and I'm going to be on the other side and things are going to be great. And that has worked for me my entire life. And
For sure. And the big thing that I would say is just be patient with yourself, right?
sure, yeah, yeah.
Be patient with yourself and don't expect things don't happen overnight. We're not, you know, that cuckoo. I know we're a little off the charts, but things don't happen overnight. You got to give it time to
No,
develop. Be patient with yourself, be kind and stay diligent to the task at hand. Stay
yeah.
diligent to the focus and where you're headed and that will produce big, it'll produce life is going to change. It's just going to be better for you.
Yeah, and be reasonable with yourself,
Yeah,
with your
for
goals
sure.
and what you set out for yourself to do, and things like that, and knock down stuff that is within reason.
Hmm.
Not to say that any goals are unreasonable, but I think you know what I mean. There's definitely some
Yeah.
things that it's like no, I'm probably not going to go and be a top level chef in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have to practice for years, maybe 10 years. To
Mhm.
gain that expertise. I talked to you about golf. Like how sick would it be if when I'm 45, if it's 15 years from now until then of diligent work, could I be on tour? Now,
Dude, I can't wait to be your caddy. Let's
like
go.
15 years if I stay diligent might be realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows? But if
Yeah.
I were to stay 5 years, that's just silly. There's no
Yeah.
chance. You got to have an understanding of reality, right?
You got to put in the
Uh,
hours. You got to put in
yeah,
that
you got to
time,
put in the hours. You got to put in the work.
for sure.
Um,
Yeah, and enjoy the
don't
process. Enjoy
That's
it.
the biggest part. The only reason I
Yeah.
even said something like that is because I know that I want to play so much. Hey, don't worry
Exactly.
though, paintball people. Paintball is still my number one. I'm just waiting for us to be able to play, man. So again, like let's kind of get
Yeah.
back on track a little bit because I know we wanted to talk about some awesome travel stories and things like
Yeah.
that paintball has done for us.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, so with Arizona, Texas shutting down, I think New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, they've made some travel restrictions for people coming in from states like Arizona, Texas, and a few other places. So you have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Things are still pretty uncertain.
Yeah, it's crazy right now still. I mean, who knows, the full capacity of what's going on, but all I know is I'm locked up, baby. I'm locked.
Yeah, yeah, you're back in the deal
Yeah.
there. Luckily, I know, like I said, we still have our restaurants and gyms open, but I think
Yeah.
by the end of the week we might get put on the list because the rest of California pretty much has been put on the list, and San Diego just kind of slipped by because our numbers aren't terrible. But this goes
Yeah.
back to what we were talking about, Ty. Is people aren't being responsible. When I go out, I'm being extremely responsible. It doesn't mean I'm less of a man or you're less of a woman. Because you want to wear a mask or because you wash your hands. No, man, it doesn't. I'm just trying to be a good member of society. And
Mhm.
I personally might not be afraid of contracting the virus for my own personal health, although we don't know enough about it for me to be confident in saying that completely. It
No,
could be
totally.
something kind of gnarly.
Because like
Yeah,
one of our very good friends had added complications to Tim
sure,
and
sure. And
and
that's not fully out yet of what it is. We do know
yeah,
that he did have COVID-19, but we're
definitely
not sure
didn't
if that's
help.
definitely didn't help. And look,
Yeah.
until there's a final thing, we don't want to touch too much
Yeah.
on that. But the point is, people are getting sick and people are dying, and there are healthy people that are affected too. And
Mhm.
the more important thing to me actually is you can harm your neighbor, right?
Mhm.
We could be asymptomatic. We've had this conversation. We could be asymptomatic and pass it along to someone who is compromised, and it,
Yeah.
it tears apart their family essentially. So, look,
Yeah.
when things start to open back up, and also, here's another way to look at it. Whether things are right or wrong, you got to look at what's going to happen.
Mhm.
If the numbers keep going up, we're stuck shutting down. And you can make
Yeah.
arguments, well, let's rebel and let's do whatever. Whatever argument you want to make. The reality is your state is going to shut down. Paintball is no more. We're not going to be able to play. We're not going to be able to have tournaments. We're not going to be able to go out and see your family on holidays, all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
That's why I just pushed to just be responsible with it,
Yeah. So we can
and
get out of
again,
this nightmare.
yeah, totally. Like I'm not choosing sides either way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying be responsible with it. For me, it's very easy to wear my mask when I go out. When I go to the gym, I'm a little crazy in the gym. I try to wash my hands in between every set, and I make sure to wipe down my machine. It definitely adds like 30 minutes to my workout routine, but whatever. We're in this weird time. It's not always going to be like this,
Yeah.
and for now it is, and I'm fine with that. The last thing that I would ever want to do is maybe I contract the virus because I'm at the gym and I don't ever have a symptom. I don't even realize it. I go to the grocery store, I pick up an avocado. I'm trying to see if it's soft. Oh, it's not good. I put it back down. And then an elderly person or someone who is even just compromised health wise comes in, they pick that same avocado, they get sick and die.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the argument that, these people can die from the flu or whatever. No, look, here's what we do know: we can take precautions to save lives. So I'm all for it, and that's really
Yeah.
all I need to know.
Yep. Yeah. And, all we can do is try to help each other through these tough times, man. It's really, it's a test. It's an opportunity, and we got to help each other as much as we can.
Have a sense of community, right?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah. For
yeah,
the
so
culture. Let's do it for the
for the
culture.
culture, baby. So, traveling for paintball, since it might be something we don't get to do, especially internationally, for a while.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of our favorite travel experiences because of
Totally.
paintball.
Yeah.
That's been
Yeah.
awesome, dude. We could start
Let's
from the beginning and go through the list.
let's start in we'll start in America, obviously we've been playing for quite a while, and I started playing pro at 14. The most awesome thing about that whole experience was that I got to travel to every single tournament with my dad, you know. Till Yeah, he came to every tournament with me. We would fly to every tournament together, and from when I was 14 to like 19. And it was just great having his energy there. He would always be giving me good advice, telling me, to just stay sharp in my mind and different things I can do as tactics on the field. So it was really special to have him. And he's an Army Ranger, airborne infantry, special forces like officer. So like he's been through some pretty gnarly stuff in his life. And having his militant mind there when I was young really played a big role in like how I am today and how I approach paintball.
Of course, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that's really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
Ranger Bob Harmon, man. Love you, Dad. Thanks for everything.
Hell yeah, dude, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I started traveling for paintball, I was 13 on Aftermath. No, I might have been 14.
yeah,
Playing with San Diego Aftermath, and we had no parental supervision. It was we were.
yep,
I remember we had to like get a note signed so that we could fly with Mike Hinman and the
yeah,
older guys, And me and Mouse would share a room. Usually, we had a couple older guys on the team, and it was just shenanigans the whole time.
yeah,
Playing pranks on each other, traveling around the US to these events.
yeah,
We're winning these events too as young kids, just having a blast.
yep.
Like it was super, super cool.
There's nothing better than that,
But
rolling around with your friends and getting to win tournaments.
yeah, what was your first international trip for paintball?
My first international trip for paintball it was Canada, if you even
Oh, okay.
consider that.
Yeah, what do
I
you mean?
went
That's
up,
international.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just north of us, but it was on the East Coast, so it was a pretty
So it's
long
like
little trek.
French, dude. No, and
Yeah.
dude, that's
Yeah.
definitely international. They all speak French over there.
Yeah, it was really fun. I played out there, and Thomas Taylor. We played for Recon out there, and
CXBL, right?
yeah, in the CXBL, and
Tight.
that was a great
What
experience.
what year
Mhm.
was this? Sorry, Ty.
That must have been around 2009 or
Okay.
something.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And it was when the guns are shooting super fast, the long X Ball style games. I think it was like 25-minute halves, just like original X Ball.
Yeah.
And I was on excessive, or like I was part of their like training camp and stuff. I was playing with Oakland, and the weekends that I wouldn't be with Oakland, I was in Modesto playing with excessive and like rolling around with them. So me and Thomas got pretty tight, traveled and did like a team bundle there out in Canada, and had a good time out there. Canada is so much fun. Huge shout out to Tim Hortons Coffee and all the Canadians
Yeah.
out there.
Tim Hortons and the ice caps at Tim Hortons, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
unreal. It's like a religion out there.
it
Hortons
is.
Coffee is crazy.
Tim Hortons, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to all the Canadians that
Yeah,
know
man.
about it. Tim Hortons. And Ice Cap, it's like their version of a frozen cappuccino. It's unreal. It's
Oh,
off the
yeah.
charts, dude. It's off
Dude,
the charts.
I wasn't really like that big of a coffee fan. After that, I was like, damn, all right, we got Tim Hortons in the building. This stuff's
Yeah,
good.
they must put some kinda drugs in
Yeah,
there.
for real.
That would make sense why Canadians are so nice. They're taking Tim Hortons drugs all the
That's right, dude. Yeah, the Canadian culture is the nicest in the world, man. Great people
time.
out there.
Yeah.
I want to actually go back and play out there again at some point.
Yeah.
Just super
Yeah.
fun times out there.
100%, dude. Yeah, that's a fun league. I got to go out there. I forget when it was. I think it was 2000 must have been 2013. I went out there with Mouse and we played with a team called Lockdown a couple times and we won the series championships. We got the rings, we got the
There we
trophy,
go.
the whole thing. It was really tight. We actually were on the same team with Jason Edwards. I forget if Keith Brown was on our team or another team. He was on another team, I think. We played against him. So it was Jason
Nice.
Edwards and Chad Bougier. Oh, and Jacob Edwards. Yeah, so it was us three.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith was on another team.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's fun, dude. That's
Oh
fun.
yeah. It was such a good time. And then like when I was a kid, when I first started playing, it was in Modesto, Twisted Factory, and we would travel to like Las Vegas. And that was pretty much like the furthest we did. We did like the state of California tournaments and all that.
Oh yeah, dude. Like back when we played rookie 5-man, yeah, Vegas would be the furthest we went. I'll never
Yeah.
forget. We went. So I was 12 or 13.
Like Pan Am, you know?
Yeah, Pan Am,
Yeah.
and Best
There was
in the
another
West.
one.
They didn't,
Yeah.
No, Best in the West. They didn't go there. It was Pan Am that I played in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Dude,
And
I have this funny picture of me. I'm going to post it up on the Play the Game podcast of me like just like thinking I'm cool or something, I had like an ice blue angel and I was like at the Vegas Pan Am. It was the best photo. I'll post it on PTG.
bro, we might have been at the same event.
I
before
think we
even knew
were
each
for
other.
sure.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance.
Yeah, I can
Um,
almost guarantee it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude. I
That's
remember
funny.
all the kids on my team were like 16, 17, and I thought they were full blown adults, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, these guys are like 30, you know?
Yeah.
They were kids too. I didn't even realize it. But I went
Yeah.
out there with just them. Like we had our own hotel room. You know what
Yeah.
kids do. We had fun. It was a fun
Dude,
time.
totally.
Vegas.
Firecrackers,
Yeah, the whole thing.
doorbell ditching and TPing, right?
Don't forget about the prank calls.
That's right. Prank
Yeah.
calls, load
Prank
them up.
calls, dude. Every room in the hotel got pranked.
Yeah. Hey, get ready because we're gonna do some prank calls on here too. We're gonna get some people going on the show here.
I can't wait. That's gonna be super fun. That's gonna be so funny. Calling
Yeah.
paintball stars to prank
For
call.
sure. We'll put it on speakerphone and have him like in the mic and be talking to him and get him with some prank calls.
We got to pretend we're Ryan one time.
Yeah, I need my money. It's Ryan Greenspan.
So I'm looking to come out to your field and oh man, it could be a lot of really funny ones.
Oh, you better watch out. We're gonna get you guys. It's gonna start happening.
Damn, dude. So Canada was your first dip. I think
Yeah.
I think my first international trip, I'm pretty sure it was in 2008 with Lisbon Benfica in the Millennium Series. So the very first trip was in Portugal.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this dude, Hugo. He ran, Hugo.
Yeah.
Hugo Dominguez, yeah.
Mhm.
He ran the whole organization out there. So I never knew him, but I knew of him. Messaged me on, I believe it was MySpace. I
Yeah.
don't think it
Top
was
8. Who was your
Yeah,
top 8 friends at that time?
Oof, I don't know. I have no clue, dude. You could
Isn't
go
it
back.
funny? It seems like a lifetime ago, dude.
It was a lifetime ago, wasn't it?
MySpace. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But Portugal, dude, I remember I was 18 years old, so I'm a kid,
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I was 17 years old. Yeah, because it was the start of 2008. So I was 17 years old, total kid, going international for my first time really even traveling abroad. And it's for paintball to meet up with a team that I don't know. I don't know anybody on this team.
Perfect.
I'm just trusting that they're going to pick me up at the airport and it's all going to work out. Right.
Yeah.
So, they get my ticket. I get on my flight, fly over, I land. Feeling super jet lagged. First time sitting in economy. I'm in the very back and probably a middle seat, like,
Yeah, it wasn't first class then for sure.
Yeah, no way, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do the work.
Yeah, no
And,
Delta Air miles at that point.
Yeah, nothing. So I land and I remember going through customs and like it was just so much more intimidating that I mean, travel is a piece of cake. I love it. It's amazing. I love everything about culture. I love when they don't speak your language. You know, I embrace all that stuff now. But as a 17-year-old kid by yourself, you're kind of afraid.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm looking around and I'm like, oh man, I don't know where to go. And all of a sudden I just hear like, oh, Marcello. And like I look and you know they're kind of waving at me and I'm like, oh, I hope this is me. And like there are all these movies out at the time of people getting taken over, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I hope I'm okay. All right, yeah, hey buddy, yeah, cool. And then I see a paintball shirt, so I'm like, oh, okay, nice, we're good, we're definitely good. Um, so it was really cool because this team, they were called Lisbon Benfica. Lisbon Benfica is a major soccer organization out in Portugal. And
Crazy.
yeah, and they were part of the organization. So we spent a couple days in Portugal before we drove in a, we'll get to that in a second. This bus, oh my God, it was terrible. We drove to Spain, which was where the first Millennium event was, right on the beach in Malaga, right?
Yeah.
So we did a couple days in Portugal. They took me out to some nice dinners, and then we got to go to the soccer stadium. And the soccer stadium was completely shut down. We got a full tour. We did a photo shoot in the center, like on the center field at the 50-yard line kind of thing.
Nice.
We were in the newspapers there, this whole thing. Like they were part of the organization.
Whoa.
I was blown away, dude. I was just walking around like starstruck, but they were also kind of starstruck. They were like, this is an American pro. You know, this was, it was
Yeah.
my third year with the Ironman. We had won world championships, you know, so kind of had a
Yeah.
little bit of clout there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, this is insane. Tons of awesome dinners, beautiful scenery, foreign culture. I was blown away, right?
Yeah.
So then like, oh, we're gonna drive, we're taking the bus to to Spain. It's about 12 hours. 12
Whoa.
12 hours on a bus? Damn, okay. We get on this bus, it's packed. Packed. No AC. We're driving through the mountains, curvy roads, winding back and forth. Tyler, it took 24 hours.
Oh no.
It took
Oh no.
24 hours crammed in this hot, sweaty,
uh,
stinky bus, dude.
welcome to
And and
Portugal, buddy.
and
Come on
scary.
down.
Scary too, because we're hauling ass around all these corners and we're going through the mountain ranges, right? And we're
Yeah.
on cliffs. Like I'm
Probably
looking out,
gorgeous, huh?
you know, it wasn't. I was so scared. Nothing was pretty. And it was actually it was so hot and dry that everything was pretty dry. It actually
Yeah.
was not that gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Portugal was gorgeous,
Yeah.
Spain was gorgeous.
Mhm.
This 24-hour bus ride was not gorgeous. Oh
Uh,
man. I was like,
so, dude, what would you say is like the biggest lesson that you've learned from all your traveling
suck
and all
it
the
up.
travel? Just
Suck
suck
it
it
up.
up. Yeah.
Just suck it up.
Yeah.
Out
That's right.
embrace the schlep.
That's right.
Like we were
Embrace
talking
the
about that.
trip.
We were talking about that with Yosh.
That's
But
right.
what I've learned about all the traveling is just to be a trooper, you know?
Yeah.
Truly,
Yeah.
like just be a trooper because the end result is gonna be worth it. And it was
That's
worth
right.
it. You know, we got to Spain, we were at this tournament right on the beach, dude. Literally, it was like their version of Huntington Beach.
That's
The
right.
event's right on the sand. You have a huge castle that overlooks everything. There's a huge coastline with bars and restaurants and all these cool things.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
Dude,
epic. It was beautiful.
I was on my way out there that year that the volcano erupted and it shut
2009.
down all of Europe. So I was actually going out there to play with Stockholm Joy Division that year. And I left from San Francisco, took off, and in the air, the pilot's like, there's a volcano that's erupted. We're going to try and go for it. We're going for it. That's what he was saying. We're going for it. I'm looking at everybody like, we're going for it. What's this guy talking about? We're going for it. Doesn't he know volcanoes are bad for airplanes, you know? And I'm like, just crapping myself up in the air, you know? I'm in the air. This volcano's exploded and shutting down Europe. And then at the last moment, he turns us around. We're about to dip into Europe. Like we're right coming over on our way in. And turns us around and we head back all the way back to San Francisco. And I
Whoa.
wasn't able to go. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. I was already there. I was
Yeah.
there. I got stuck there. Yeah, so that volcano, I'm pretty sure it erupted above like somewhere around Norway and it shut down most of Europe, dude. It was crazy.
It was,
Because
yeah.
the volcanic ash, planes can't
Yeah.
fly, so it shut down most of it. And I remember
Yeah.
this was also it was the next year for my
Yeah.
2008 trip in Spain. Same event right on Malaga Beach.
Yep.
And it was kind of cool for everyone that was there because the event got canceled too because there were these crazy
Party.
windstorms. It was just a big party on the beach, which was
Hmm.
tight. You had all the boys were there. It was fun.
Yeah, everybody.
But yeah. So I think I was supposed to fly out of Malaga or Madrid. Madrid was like a 2-hour drive from Malaga. Malaga's where the event was.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, dude, we're watching all one by one, all the airports are shutting down. And I was with Scott Kemp. That's who I traveled with. And so I wasn't really worried. I was like, whatever, we'll stay here for a couple weeks or a month. It'll be fun. I wasn't tripping. I was, 18 years old and I didn't
Yeah.
care. And then all of a sudden, Scott gets a flight home.
Oh.
And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, my mom just got me a ticket. I get out first thing in the morning and it was like $3,000. Right.
Oh.
It was like insane. So I was like, I can't get one of those. What am I going to do? I'm toast. Now I'm here by myself. Now, like this weird panic started to set in,
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure.
18, don't know what to do. Don't know. Like all the Americans are getting the flights back. I'm not great friends with a lot of the Europeans. They're close by. They get to go home. What am I going to do? Yeah. So I'm sitting in the lobby of our hotel, and this is how I met Tom Cole, which is the president of the NXL. I meet Tom Cole because I overhear him. He's on the phone, and he's like, I'm obviously on my phone trying to find flights. I'm doing everything I can. And I realize the only flight that I can get for a decent price and the airport's still open is out of Barcelona. But that's like a 12-hour drive from where we were, right? So I'm like, I have no way of getting there. And I hear Tom Cole. He kind of walks by, and he's like, okay, yeah, change our flights. We'll fly out of Barcelona. We'll drive up tonight. And I'm like, I kind of look at, and I go over, I'm like, hey, I wait for him to get off the phone, right? I go to him like, Tom, nice to meet you. My name is Marcello. I play for this team. He's like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Super cool to me, right? Like, dude, can I please catch a ride with you guys to the airport? I'm going to try to change my flight to fly out of Barcelona as well. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. No problem. We'll take care of you. We'll drive you there. And I was like, really? Like, wow.
Dude, what a man.
What a man. He didn't know who I was. Like, that was so cool of him. So now
that's Tom Cole, man. He's just the greatest. The UWL events were my favorite with him. Like all those Woods Ball tournaments were the best with Tommy.
Yeah, good dude. So, I had like a 12-hour drive to really get to know him and kind of chat with him. I wonder if he even remembers that was me. You know what I mean? I wonder if he remembers because obviously we know each other really well now, but I wonder if he remembers I was that kid that begged him for a ride.
We got to get Tommy on the show and have a good convo with him here shortly.
Totally. Yeah. Tom is a great person to have on the show. He's been an integral part of all the major leagues. He knows.
Yeah. Actually, we'll have him on and he'll break some worldwide news for everybody. We'll get in contact with him and he can break all this news for us on the show.
Absolutely. I love that. Why not, dude? Play the game. We're the news media for paintball.
Yep. News media for paintball. You found it here. Play the Game podcast. Yeah, dude. It was crazy. I was so glad I got I was so mad because it was my first time going to Malaga. I wanted to hang out on the beach and play paintball. It was like the European Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
So when we turned around, I was super bummed out. Then I heard what happened to everybody over there, how they were trapped. I was like, thank God I didn't go in there.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure.
I was still in school, like college and stuff. So,
you know what though, dude? It turned out to be one of the stories I tell the most though. Like that's one of the more prominent travel stories I have because it was so awesome actually.
For sure.
When you have real adversity and it works out, it ends up being the best story always, especially with travel. Like I can't tell you how many travel stories I have where everything just goes to shit and you have to wing it and make do and you're like kind of pissed in the moment. But again, so that's what I said. You got to be a trooper when you travel. It's giving me that mindset because afterwards you're like, dude, that was so amazing. So fun. Like what an adventure, what an adventure. And that's really all you can ask for in life. You want to be able to look back and laugh about funny stories, hard times, things like that. Like that's what it's about. Paintball has given us so many of that, dude. Like almost every story, dude, we could talk about so many travel stories that are just like, holy fuck, are you kidding me?
What's going on here? Dude, seriously. And when I got back, I was able to go back to, because I was in college at the time when that happened. So I would have for sure just been screwed with all my schoolwork if I would have been trapped over there. But it still is one of my most talked about stories too, because I was in the air going into a volcano cloud and he was like, no, we're pulling out. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's That's wild for sure,
It
dude.
was
That's
nuts. I was legit like crapping myself. Like we're going down, you know?
yeah. You must have flown out. Well, of course, because you had school, so you probably took the last minute flight.
Yeah,
I think I was
exactly.
there like 2 days before that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had to get out of like that's typically how my life's been.
Yeah.
This year is one of the first years where I'm not in school or owning a company and being a big integral part of like a
Well,
company.
you
So,
own a company, and you're a big
well,
integral part now.
yeah, it's just I've changed gears. Now it's play the
Yeah.
game, and we're all in over here playing paintball and growing paintball culture, which is the most beautiful thing I've ever done. So blessed and fortunate to be on this journey with you and with the culture, with the people, everybody supporting us. It's the greatest experience ever. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I'm stoked. I'm so happy because I've always told you, I'm like, dude, you need to put all your eggs in this basket. This is your
Hmm.
basket. This is your life. You've spent your whole life doing this. You're amazing at it,
Yeah,
and which is
yeah,
another reason why I'm so glad that we're on this adventure together, man.
totally.
Paintball's the best, dude, and we're gonna just grow old doing paintball shit,
That's right.
like
And
and a
just a
little bit of golf.
little and play a little golf, be a little caddy, have a little fun, hang out on the beach. You can come chill on my beach over here and check it out on YouTube. We got the beach vibes going. Yeah, dude, it's profound, and we're gonna get all old and crusty and have fun and do paintball and just live life and enjoy it to the fullest.
Totally, man.
Yeah,
Love it. All right,
I can't
so
wait.
so so let's go over some next travel stories. You got
Yeah.
any that's stand out
I
after
mean, the
that one?
biggest like one that stands out is just our trip to
Prague.
Prague. Yeah,
Prague was
that
nuts, dude.
that city, I did not know how amazing Prague is until when I got there. I was completely blown away with the canal systems, all the water, the roads, just how old everything was. It was so crazy, and it's like the center of Europe. So over all these centuries of wars and just life being lived, it's so massive and has been through so much in all these wars, and you can see all the remnants of all that too, which is crazy.
100%, dude. Have you
Yeah.
ever been to Rome?
No, I've never been in Rome.
Dude, dude.
When in Rome.
So so because of the European paintball, I used to do this every summer. So it would be the July 4th event. Usually, the Europeans would always make an event on July 4th. I think just to
Of
stiff us.
course.
I swear they
Yeah.
did it on purpose, make us
Yeah.
go over there. But after that event, I would fly over to Rome for like 2 or 3 days and then fly home because it's so cheap. Once you're in Europe, you can fly all over really cheap, right? You can go
Yeah.
from it's like flying around the US, like from here to Texas is like going from London to Rome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I would fly over every summer over to Rome. I probably did it like 7 years in a row, and I'd spend a
Whoa.
couple days there. And dude, Rome is one of the most beautiful cities that I have ever been to. Just like you're saying, just how old it is. I mean, Rome, I think, is like almost 3,000 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane how old it is, and everything is still so preserved. It's like, wow, you just
Wow.
walk around and it's literally an outdoor museum that people still live and occupy and
Yeah.
maintain. It's unbelievable, and the culture is just amazing. It's about just enjoying good food and some drinks and walking around and having conversation, enjoying it. And it's
Yeah.
cool because each year I would kind of bring someone different. I went over with Mouse one year. We had a blast, because we
Yeah.
played on a team in 2013 together. We played on this team from the Ukraine called Hulk.
Yeah, I
And
remember them.
dude, they were tight. I love the Hulk
Mhm.
guys, man. Shout out to them. The owner of the team was amazing, actually. We earned a pro spot that year, and he sold the pro spot because it was right when the Ukraine was going to war with Russia. There was all sorts of intense things happening, and he sold everything and donated everything to his government. And
Wow.
yeah, really good
That's
dude.
crazy.
He just
Yeah.
recently started coming to the European events again, so happy to see him back playing paintball. Shout out to
Good.
the whole entire Hulk family. They're amazing, amazing people. But
Yeah. Dude, Hulk up. Let's go. Shout out
yeah,
to
and
Hulk.
dude, it was so cool. Like we would go over there. I remember one event we were in Germany, and we stayed at this little kind of a cottage resort type place, right? And every night, the owner of the team and then a few of the other guys, they would bring their wives. The wives would cook up these insane Ukrainian meals, these home cooked meals, dude, that were just so good, dude, so
Oh
amazing.
God. Yeah.
We would set up these big like picnic tables and just do it very traditional, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't buy an experience like that. No matter how much money you have, you cannot pay for that kind of an experience. Such an organic, real,
Yeah.
culture indulgent type of thing, is just absolutely amazing. And it's all because of paintball. Paintball is so amazing for that. These are the kind of stories that we talk about when no, we might not be making millions of dollars, but I feel
Yeah.
rich. I
Oh,
feel rich as can
dude,
be.
they're timeless memories and experiences, like you said, that you cannot get. No amount of money can buy that experience of hanging out with people in their natural culture setting, the food, the vibe, the energy, the music, the drinks are flowing, everybody's talking and having a good time. It's
Totally.
just it's a really organic, beautiful thing that paintball creates.
Absolutely, dude. Speaking of music, what country plays your favorite music?
Oh, Mexico. Shout out to Mexico. Let's
Dude,
go.
it's Colombia for me, but very similar. Like,
Yeah.
dude, Colombia, the reggaeton is just so
Yeah.
good, dude. It's so vibey. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Dude,
Yeah, I love the reggaeton.
I'll move to Mexico and we'll live out there immediately. It's amazing out there. My grandpa's from Mexico. I have family out there and a lot of great people and friends out there. It's a beautiful culture.
Yeah, 100%. There's tons of beautiful places in Mexico, and same thing,
Oh,
they listen to a
it's
lot of reggaeton
huge.
there too, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like down in Colombia, I feel like it's a little more traditional, old school type, reggaeton, a little more, um I don't know if classy is the right word, but it feels that way. Maybe it's just because my
Yeah,
setting,
yeah.
I feel like it's a little classier, but, yeah,
Yeah.
I love Latin culture, right?
Yeah,
Latin culture is amazing, it truly is.
absolutely.
My stepmom is actually from Nayarit, Mexico, it's about 15
Beautiful.
hours south, and she
Yeah.
cooks up some mean
Yeah.
food,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my goodness, and
Yeah.
she's great, the culture is fantastic, so
Yeah, my I have family that's Colombian as well, and on like that aspect of they're my cousins and stuff. And whenever we go to their house for the parties, oh man, they have like the big pig roast and all the music and the wine, and it's the best time ever.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you had cousins that were Colombian.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
part Colombian?
I mean, I guess, yeah,
Wow, okay, I had no idea, dude, damn.
yeah,
That's what I love about this show, dude, like, we keep
yeah.
learning stuff. We've been
And it's
really
it's
close
just
friends.
like maybe like 4 or 5 toes. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
just a couple toes got it, but there it's in there for
It's
sure.
in there. Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
ever done one of those 23andMe or, like, DNA tests?
I haven't. I'm too afraid. I say the less I give to the government, the best. So, who
These
knows
are
what's
these
going on with this DNA? If they catch wind of my DNA, they might lock me up. Yeah, they put me
you'll
away.
you'll be in Roswell for sure,
Yeah,
dude, or Area 51.
I'm trying to.
Secret
I try not to let any of my skin flake off. Might blow in the wind somewhere, and someone catch wind of me or something. It's
Damn, dude,
crazy.
you guys heard it here first.
Yep,
Don't
it's not
don't
natural.
call the government. That's really, really funny, man. Yeah,
Oh, dude. Yeah. But I am intrigued because my dad has Native American blood from his father's side as well. So I don't have enough to get the benefits here in the USA, but
me too.
um once again, it's a couple toes. You know what I mean? I got toes in the game, and we got a lot of heritage. I'm really like a big mutt because I have European blood, Native American, Hispanic, and a lot going on with my bloodline.
Yeah, that's so funny too. Me too. So I did get a 23andMe. Actually, it was a birthday gift when I turned 23.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and it's so funny. My dad was so pissed because he always said, "You're 100% Italian,
Yeah.
100% Italian," and he would say that he's 100% Italian, right? So if he's 100% Italian, I at least got to be 50% Italian, right? That's that's
Hmm.
that's the math on that.
Yeah.
Unless he's not my dad, but he's my dad. He looks just like me. Um,
Yeah.
I was like 45% Italian, and the rest was like Northern. I had some Scandinavian. I had a little bit of Native American, Cherokee, but again,
Yeah.
such a minuscule amount. Um, and then really, it's just like a European mutt,
Yeah.
And when I told him, he was so pissed. He was so he just dismissed all of it, said it's bullshit, said I'm an idiot. So like it was so funny. I was like,
Yeah.
Dad, you're not 100% Italian. How do you feel
Yeah.
about that? He
You
was
ruined it for him, dude. His whole life never he was like, "What the hell? What's going on there?"
yeah.
Dude, that's funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hey, kinda elaborate, like, on the power of meeting new people, traveling, like, there's a special thing that happens with my whole experience on how I view life, just with being able to meet so many different walks of life and people, seeing new places, obviously. Like, elaborate on what that's done for you.
Yeah, Ty, I think the biggest thing is perspective.
Hmm.
And that's just the biggest thing in general is having a different perspective. People get so married to their paradigm, and a paradigm is everything you understand, know, and believe, right?
That's
So
right.
the way you view things through your lens, that's your paradigm.
Yeah.
You don't ever see another paradigm or another perspective, it's really hard for you to empathize with other people's situations. It's really hard for you to have compassion for things. So it's so important to be exposed to these things. And paintball has done that. Traveling has done that. Meeting people from different cultures has done that. It has taught me so much about the differences that we have, but also the similarities that we have as humans. Humans are really very similar. We like to eat, fall in love, be happy, we work, we try to support our families. There's going to be bad eggs everywhere, but for the most part, we have very common interest.
Yeah,
But
everybody wants to smile and buy HK as well, you know?
yeah, yeah. But we have these manufactured segregations, that
Yeah.
aren't real, and they're put
Hmm.
in place by, if you want to call it governments or old ideas
Yeah.
that separate us. And so
Hmm.
traveling and meeting people, I remember, again, when I first really started going internationals when I was 17. So I would come back with these experiences and it actually happened before that because even traveling within the US is often like traveling to another country, right? You leave your
Yeah,
little bubble, you
for
know,
sure.
I would come back and I would hear the kind of stuff that, my group of friends from high school are talking about. And I just started to lose interest very early on. I was like, we don't have much in common. You actually are really closed minded and you're not even open to thinking about this kind of stuff. So we don't connect anymore. And I grew apart from a lot of people from high school because of that.
There's
And a
something
lot of,
very powerful there, Marcello. It's the power of relationships that you didn't even realize that you understood from a young age.
yeah,
It's your circle who
yeah,
you choose, and it's your choice whether you realize it or not. You might say, "Well, I'm just here. These people are around, and this is how I'm going to be." Because they're no, that's not the way it works. You have a choice, and we can choose to surround ourselves with powerful people, and that's what you did, right? You said, "I'm on this path. I see my vision. I see my path. This is where I'm headed." And you surrounded yourself with people like that. That's powerful.
yeah, I think it's always been an important thing to surround yourself with like-minded people. That old adage
Totally.
that, show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you who you are is very real, actually.
Hmm.
It really is. The people that you surround yourself with, you are more likely to act like them. You guys obviously have things in common that you
Yeah.
are attracted to, that you continue to re-encourage and you reinforce these ideas amongst each other, and you solidify your beliefs. So the people that you're around the most really are a great representation of who you are as a person. And um obviously before I had that experience, I did think my way was the only way. How would I know anything differently? I what I thought was right is what I thought was right. I didn't see other things. I didn't see other hardship. I thought my situation in San Diego was kind of bad at times. And then I saw really bad situations and I was like, my
Yeah.
situation's not that bad. Period.
Yeah. My situation is not bad at all.
I,
And here in America, let me just say, in America, our situation's great. We got a it's a, obviously there's things that need to be worked on. I
sure.
understand that, and we will continue to work on them. But in the spectrum of the global team Earth, like, you say, if
Have it
you were to
better.
rank, oh my God, you rank it 8 billion, like, out of 8 billion, we're not last on that totem pole. You know what I mean? Like, we're
Yeah.
doing all right here. Yeah.
Uh, Unfortunately, America has fallen quite a bit in things like education and health and things like that. I would really like to see us get back on track there. We have a
Yeah.
lot of issues with racial inequality and stuff like that that we
Yes.
definitely need to address and work on.
Yeah.
But there's places where it's way worse,
Yeah.
way worse. You go to South America, Cape Town, something like that. Racism is pretty bad. Uh,
Hmm.
when I was in Johannesburg and I saw the poverty there, or even down in Colombia, I like to talk about Colombia because it's truly one of my favorite places in the world. If you ask me, like, if I wanted to live somewhere or visit somewhere, often Colombia is in my top 3.
Yeah.
And it's not a very wealthy place. There's some wealthy parts of it, of course, but the culture, the appreciation for one another, even though you hear stories of all the crime, and if you're an American, it's not safe to go down there. I hated when I would come back and I would tell people I went to Colombia, people would be like, "Oh, did you feel safe? Like, were you okay down there?" I'm like, dude, that is just so, look,
Yeah.
okay, sure, you got to be smart. Okay. Don't be out drinking and at 2 o'clock in the morning in a bad neighborhood, walking around with your phone out. And that's almost anywhere. You go to
Yeah.
downtown LA, you're going to have the same thing. You're
Yeah.
some parts of New York, same thing. Chicago, same thing. So, to put a blanket on a country is crazy. There's so much beauty in the poverty there, and it's this sense of community and connectivity and culture and for each other and love and family and eating good food, enjoying each other, that
Mhm.
every time I went I was almost envious, like, you guys don't need much to be happy, and I admire that, so I'd bring that back home with me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, I am the richest man ever.
Absolutely.
I'm full of everything right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you're right, Marcelo. Like, we need water, we need love, we need community. You got to be a part of a tribe. You got to have people to bounce off of. But really, you gotta put some food in the belly and keep energized. There's not really much that you need. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that we want, but the needs are really a pretty short list.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, you gotta be able to pay your bills, support your family, make sure you have a roof
Yeah.
over
Of
your
course.
head,
Yeah.
and eat, right, but there's a lot of materialistic things that our society values that truly isn't that important, and it
Yeah.
should be seen as luxury items, and if you can, it's so funny, when I was younger, I wanted every new iPhone. If there was a new iPhone, I would, like, basically spend all my money on a
Yeah.
damn new iPhone that, I mean, maybe it had, like, a new button. There was, like, it didn't do anything different. It was just like a status thing, and that's crazy. I
Yeah.
just finally upgraded my iPhone. I had the other one for, like, 3 years. It works, you don't
Yeah.
need all this unnecessary stuff,
That's
you know?
like eggs. Alex
Yeah,
Frazier, we just
yeah,
had him on the show.
yeah,
He had the small iPhone from 2001 that he's had forever,
yeah.
and Alex can buy a new iPhone if he wants to, but that's not what it's
Alex
about.
does very well, and he's one of the most modest people that I've ever
Yeah.
met, right?
He is truly the most modest person ever, and just humble grassroots kind of guy. And it just says a lot about him. And you want to know why? It's because of the power of meeting people. He's traveled, he's cultured, he's experienced what you're talking about, seeing the other side of the quarter. We live on the side with the eagle. The other flip side of the coin, you have to experience that to have the full capacity of what's going on both sides. So doing that is so powerful, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we could probably go on quite a tangent about it because it really has. I feel like, for me at least, anytime I experience something once that is really mind blowing and makes me
Yeah.
rethink the way I thought about stuff, that transcends into everything. I don't just put it under a microscope or in a vacuum for that one situation. Like, once I realized one time that, oh wow, things are way different. Now
That's right.
I'm not married to a single idea of mine.
Yeah.
You know, I am not
Yeah.
married to one idea. I can believe in it full-heartedly with a lot of research, a lot of backup, but I am open to somebody proving me wrong. And if you come with a good argument and you have good facts to back it up, I'm open to it because at the end of the day, I'm like, I thought I knew something before and I didn't. I've
Yeah.
been proven wrong before. So once you get proven wrong in that sense, your mind, it should just switch, right? Like a
Yeah.
switch. I'm like, okay, I was down here, but nope, now I'm up there. I could be proven wrong really
Yeah.
at any time.
That's been like one of the foundations of how I approach life is I give this life experience ultimate gratitude because with gratitude, you shed fear. When you're grateful, you shed fear. There's no more fear. You're grateful. You eliminate that, and then it produces abundance. So you or have gratitude, shed the fear, produce abundance, and also just moving from a place of I don't know anything. And when you're grateful and humble and you don't know anything, then you can approach life with open eyes and be super accepting of all and have that beautiful experience of like being a child and learning like that.
100%, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Look,
absolutely.
don't get me wrong. I will argue my point to the
Oh
death.
yeah, I know that. I
Know?
know that.
Like, but it comes from a place that if I get to a point to where I really believe in something, it's because I have done the research. I have done
Totally.
my due diligence in finding out whether or not I am right or wrong. Only then will I argue my point passionately. But I can still be proven wrong. And so people kind of, misunderstand that sometimes. Like, oh no, you're not open to that. I'm like, yes, I am. I just really believe in my point. Show me
Yeah.
something worth changing my mind over, and I'm
And
down.
that's fun. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Oh,
You know what I
totally.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I love like the lawyer type thing, the rebuttal and the whole like in my college class, my communications class, that was so much fun doing those communication drills essentially where you have to stand up for your point and
Yeah.
prove sides, and it's really good for building character. It's good for communication. You can't always get tied up in being your own, like thinking you know everything. You got to let go of that, let go of your ego and just open up,
Yeah.
put your arms in the air and say, I don't know shit,
Yeah.
and move forward. And if you've done your due diligence, that's great. Stand up for yourself, but have a really open perspective, and it's going to create a lot of abundance for you for sure.
Totally. 100%, dude.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I had a major political shift, and this was like, oh man, 6-7 years ago. And so I'm gonna mess up the details. Sorry about that, but you'll get the point. There was this big scandal. Maybe you'll remember, Ty. There was this big scandal about the abortion clinic selling premature fetuses or something like that. Do you
I
remember
remember
that?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember the details, so just bear with me and try to understand the point of it. But I was watching one news channel and I see all of these stories, and I am thinking, oh my God, that is the most atrocious thing that I've ever seen. I hope all the abortion clinics go under. I used to be a supporter. Now I don't want them to be there. Like, that is egregious. How could you do that? I mean, I was all in on it. Like, I saw all the facts that I needed to see, right? I saw all the facts. I watched the news every day. I was so sucked into this story. It was when I first really started getting engaged in politics, and so this was the first big story that I was just glued to. But I was watching one channel.
Yeah.
Come to find out, dude, all it took was me literally flipping on another channel.
Yeah.
All these videos were proven to be doctored and fake, and like they weren't the real story. And then you saw like the rest of the video that weren't like cut clips. And again, I think I'm missing some of the details. I just know for sure it was such a prominent misrepresentation of what was actually happening that I did a 180 and I was like, wait, what? That's not at all what they were saying.
Yeah.
Ever since, that's all I needed. Some people see that and they go, oh, that was just that one time. Usually we're right. So I'm going to keep listening. That doesn't make sense to me. So like now with politics, if I hear something on, and I did a tweet about this, dude, the media needs reform. That's what needs reform.
God, it's bad right now. It is bad.
Because it's so divisive and they need to be held accountable because they are dividing the country. We have real problems in the country that need to be addressed. 100.
Well, I think that we could start right there. If you start right there, and Elon Musk is really on a tangent about this. If you follow Elon Musk, he's going crazy about this. Because Facebook, the media, they are playing a sick game.
It's not okay. It's not okay, and it needs reform.
Oh man,
because it's bad for people's health. It's bad for the country. It's bad for connectivity. It's bad for humanity. It's not good. I will just preach this until the end of time. If you are getting your information from one of the news stations, you just need to get it elsewhere. You need to do your research and you need to read the other side. You need to understand the other side of whatever it is, whatever point you hear, try to prove it wrong. That's like the basis in science, right? Nothing is a fact until a bunch of scientists have gotten together and they cannot prove it wrong. They don't try to prove it right because you could prove anything right through false narratives, false misrepresentations of statistics, things like that. Only when you cannot prove it wrong is it a fact. So you should treat the news outlets like that, whether it's Fox or CNN or MSNBC, what BBC even, I used to think was probably the most fair. But even then, like now I'm getting stuff. I'm like, man, it's biased, So
also, I would we've talked about this. I advocate getting away from watching your news and reading it. You said, because there's the extra
personality.
Absolutely, dude. They have so much energy pumping through these televisions. And the colors, Kirill Prahidny, when we
Yeah,
had him on, he was talking about,
yeah.
he's like, the colors are very powerful and the energy is very powerful.
For sure, dude. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so really like anytime I hear something on the news, the first thing I do, because I still watch the news, that's fine. But if you do it right. So if I hear something on the news, I immediately try to prove it wrong. If I can't prove it wrong, through my own like back and forth from different sources, then I go, okay, maybe this is the real deal. But you got to understand that they are taking sections that they want to present to you to spin a certain point that they want to prove, to win a debate that they want to win so that they can appease their base.
Well,
So
it
with
all it comes down to dollars, and they have,
to the money,
yeah,
exactly. They
yeah,
have advertisement revenue that they have to get, and it's all based on the people that watch their channel, and
yeah,
certain bases watch certain channels, so they have to appease to them, which
yeah,
sucks. Again, the whole thing needs reform in my opinion. And they
yeah,
also need to be held accountable. But so with that case, when that happened, I had the biggest 180 that ever since then I said, I cannot believe anything that is said on the news. I have to do my research. I can't, well, okay, let's be fair. Not to say that I can't believe anything, but I have to take it with a grain of salt and do real research on every topic that I'm going
totally,
into my mind,
totally.
and
And
that's it.
dude, and to jump back on like the travel thing that we were on, the biggest thing is, dude, read, please, people, please
Yeah.
pick up books and read, man. Read the news on the internet and get multiple sources. And also, like, maybe some people can't travel, Marcelo. Maybe some people can't take the trips that we've been so blessed to take. But you know what you can do? You can pick up a book and you can travel in your mind. You can get literature from around the world that is translated into English, and you can time travel right in your bedroom reading lots of books. And that's been a super big component to my culturedness, is reading from all over the world too.
Dude, that's a great point, Ty. You're absolutely right. Reading is so beneficial. But you know what else is beneficial? Very beneficial. And we're very blessed in America, a place that is kind of a melting pot. You
Yeah,
have you have neighbors that have
yeah,
different cultural experiences. Have a real conversation with them just to hear their point of view and understand them. Don't have a
yeah.
conversation trying to win a debate or an argument or prove your point. Have a conversation from a place of trying to understand them. You're going to learn a lot. There's a lot of that.
Yeah,
Your neighbor.
yeah,
Actually, I'm so bummed. I have these Indian neighbors that lived right next door to me.
yeah.
Awesome little family that literally we would always like walk out of the doors at the same time. I would say hi, and their little girls would come up and they'd run up and say hi. And they've invited me over to have dinner with them, so I've had dinner over there and just had conversations with them. They just moved here
I love that.
about a year ago, and I'm bummed because they just moved out 2 days ago. They bought a place.
Oh,
I know they were renting
oh.
right here, and so they
Well,
bought a
good for
place.
them though. You know.
Totally good for them. That's the dream, right? Come here and
Yeah.
prosper. They worked hard. There was a hardworking family, a beautiful family, loving people. The English was hard for me to understand sometimes, like very thick
Mhm.
accent, very cultured, but I went
Yeah.
over and had dinner with them,
Yeah.
and it was amazing, just hearing how their
Totally.
perspective is on everything, on life, and where they came from. It's so different than where I came from, and so
Yeah.
have those conversations. They're all around. They're all around and
Yeah.
available all around. It comes from you being an
That's
open person.
Dude, that's so huge, Marcelo. There's such a huge opportunity for us to have good conversations with our neighbors, and
Yeah.
try not to judge things. Just go into it with an open heart and do it from a pure place of just like, you're a human, I'm a human. I'm kind of interested in what's going on in your world. Let's see.
Yeah, totally.
Ask some good questions and be like, yo, how do you live? We're all here trying to do this, and I genuinely care about human beings. So I think that there's such a beautiful place that we can work from, an opportunity right now more than ever to have good conversations and really just be genuinely interested in each other and care for each other, and we can have such productivity from that.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more, Ty. It's
Yeah,
important.
the time is now, the opportunity is now. Let's do it, people. Let's have good conversations, man, and let's build the culture, right? That's what we're trying to do here.
I agree,
Yeah,
100%.
man.
And
That's
paintball's a big sign of that too. We have so many people from different demographics that we become friends with. We've always said that about paintball. It's a melting pot. We're friends with
yeah,
people that without paintball, we probably never would have been friends with some of these people, you know? And
absolutely.
it's so amazing that we have that in the sport. So let's continue to embrace that and let it transcend into your regular life, because there's amazing people out there, I'm telling you, that
Yeah.
believe in the exact opposite things as you. And you can learn so much from them. You can appreciate so much from them if you have real conversations instead of a conversation that is driven from the ego trying to win a debate.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, and the traveling, obviously has helped us being able to see all these places. There's also tons, like I said, of literature. You can travel all over the world right from your bedroom. Just find some good books, and you can get there.
100%, dude.
Yeah, man. And
Damn.
then I want
Yep.
to dive into like doing clinics as well, like being able to do clinics all over the place. You've been able to do clinics all over the world. I haven't done as many abroad as you have, but I've been doing clinics for a while in America. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to connect with all these communities doing those types of things.
Yeah, dude, paintball's the greatest in that. I just
It is.
and I mean, every clinic that I go to, I usually stay with the family that's hosting the clinic, you know? So if it's a
Yeah,
field owner or a team owner, I usually stay in the extra bedroom in their house, and, we have dinners with them. And so especially when it's internationally, I mean, I am blessed that I get to fully dive into their culture, and I'm just there
yeah,
with open eyes and open ears trying to do everything I can to understand their culture, because I'm so blessed with that opportunity. So I'm taking advantage of it, and it's just
dude.
unreal that I have had that opportunity. Um,
Right? It's
but it
crazy. Like when
it's
you sit
unreal.
back
It's
and you
unreal.
look at, like, if you were to objectively sit back and look at what we've been able to do, it's like, how did this happen? How are we so
Dude,
lucky? You
I got a
know?
I got a story. This one's insane. This
Yeah.
one's insane. This was a couple years ago. So I did a clinic in Norway. It was after this was such a dope trip. Oh my God. Okay. So it was after the, I don't know, maybe it was the Paris event. It was the last event of the season over in Europe. So I was doing a clinic in Norway the following weekend. So I had a whole week to kill, right? And because of paintball, I had some friends that live in Austria, in
Yeah.
Vienna, right? Um, Shout out to my boys. And they said, "Hey, come over here. We'll take care of you for a couple days. We'll show you the city. Vienna's insane, right?" So I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right, cool." So I booked my flight to leave Paris, wherever we were, on Monday. I had a 14-hour layover in Amsterdam that I intentionally booked because I've been to Amsterdam so many times because of paintball. I
Yeah.
always try to venture out over there. It's a really beautiful city. Amsterdam
It's
is,
the best,
yeah,
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I literally hopped off the plane in Amsterdam. Right at the airport, there's a train station. You could hop on the train. It's about a 20-minute train ride into the city center. You
Yeah.
hop off that and you could just walk around anywhere. So I went to a few coffee shops. I cruised around. I did my thing. I had fun. Like,
Yeah.
just literally had lunch out there. Made it back
Yeah.
to the airport. It was fine. Um, then went to Vienna. And you've never been to Vienna, have you?
No, I
No?
haven't been to
Yeah.
Vienna.
I mean, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. The architecture there was just insane, you know?
Oh God, I can imagine. Yeah.
It was
Because I
insane.
study art. I was gonna do art as a major in college, and I really love the art there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, insane. So they showed me all around. We went to like one of the big palaces out there, went out to a bunch of dinners with their friends, so I'm getting to indulge in that culture. And the whole time I'm just pinching myself. I've been doing this
Yeah.
for like the international travel. I mean, almost 12 years, and still to this day, I just pinch myself that I'm able to do this. It's unbelievable. Oh,
Yeah.
I lay over in Amsterdam. This was so crazy. I had this guy. I'm so sorry, I don't remember his name, but he was getting married. He got married. He was on his honeymoon with his wife, and he wanted to meet up for a jersey. So I had my jersey in my
Oh wow.
I had my jersey in my backpack, and I remember we met in this little city center. This big square, beautiful buildings all around. He comes up with his wife, and he was just jazzed. I
Yeah.
gave him the jersey, and I'm like, here, congratulations, it's awesome. It's just cool that we got to meet here. Like, just
Wow.
just such a crazy experience.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, huh? Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy experience. Like, you're on your honeymoon. It's just wild, right? So anyway, we get to Vienna, spend a couple days in Vienna. That's awesome. Then we go to Norway. Norway, they have the Ron Holt Blast guys out there. So this was before they were a pro team. I think they were semi-pro. I did a clinic at their field. One day was a private team clinic, and one day was an open clinic for all the Norwegians that were out there. We have an awesome time. I'm staying at the owner of the team is a mom, and her two sons play on the team, right? And so they're an awesome family, and I got to stay with them, and again, just dive into the culture. But the story, dude, starts Saturday night. So we're out in like the middle of nowhere in Norway. 2 hours
Norwhere. We'll call that Norwhere.
nowhere. They have a bunch of fjords everywhere. It's absolutely gorgeous. Lakes everywhere. We're like in the middle of the mountains, right? And the sons, they're like, "Hey, do you want to go fishing tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. That sounds cool." Like, "Well, are you okay with hiking? It's going to be dark and all this. We're going to be hiking like in the river." I was like, "Dude, sounds great. Let's sign me up. Why not?" So, they loaned me these like rubber boots and all the gear. We had these little fishing poles that were basically just sticks with a with a line. They weren't real fishing poles, right? And
I
so
love that.
we drive out further into the middle of nowhere. Pitch dark. The sky was unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I'll bet.
Stars
Yeah.
everywhere, no light pollution. Like, this was insane. So we park in the middle of nowhere. We get out, and they're like, "Okay, it's like a 3-mile hike." And keep in mind, it's like midnight, so it's
Yeah.
pitch black, kind of scary. We're going through the woods. We're walking up these mountains. And then all of a sudden, like, "Okay, we got to get in the water." And I'm like, "What?" Okay, let's go. So we get in the water, and it's like up almost to the knees. But again, I've got really high rubber boots on. And so now we're trekking up the river all the way up. Boom, boom, boom. Just all the way up in the pitch black, just hiking. We got flashlights. It's the only lights we have, obviously, and we finally make it up towards the top where there's this like big waterfall. And they're like, "All right, here we go. We're going to fish." So we turn around, and I'm shining the light in the water, and there's fish everywhere, like big fish.
Yeah.
I'm like, "This is nuts." So there's like 4 of us. It was the 2 brothers, one of their girlfriends, and one of the players that played on the team. He actually had a little cabin that was like basically at the base of this, like he
Whoa.
lived in the wilderness, in the woods.
That's awesome.
Crazy, dude. And so anyway, we're fishing, and we start catching fish left and right. So we're catching fish, boom, we pull them up. And the girlfriend of one of the brothers, she's like ripping the fish off the pole and slamming them onto these sticks. So now we have this like big stick with like 6 or 7 fish that are just, filleted through the stick.
Yeah.
She tosses them on her shoulder, and we start hiking some more, right?
Yeah.
So they find this like little patch of this little like embankment that we could go and sit on. And they clear out this area, and they start grabbing wood, little branches and trees, and they create a little stick pile. Dude starts a fire with like a little flint kind of thing, and we start cooking up the fish right there. We all sit around. We're cooking the fish that we just caught miles in the wilderness, in the middle of nowhere, looking up at the sky, dude. No light pollution. The stars are out. It's gorgeous. The only thing missing would have been the northern lights. We weren't south enough for that, or north. I forget which way it is from there, but it was unbelievable, dude. And then so we're eating the fish. The fish was delicious. I don't know. It was probably just the situation I was in. I thought it was better than it actually.
You're like, "This tastes amazing."
The best thing ever. Dude, we hiked back down, and we got home, and I was I was exhausted because this was like a 4.5, 5-hour mission.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. We had to get up early. It was a big deal, but it was so amazing. Like, that's a story for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. That's the reward of the fruits of your labor of playing paintball at the highest level. And, being given those opportunities because you were so damn good at paintball that you were hired, obviously, to come out. And, anybody out there, if you can do that too, you can get really good at paintball and you can make a living out of this. You can travel the world, you can have beautiful experiences like that. You just got to stay persistent and, never give up. You never gave up. You always kept working hard, and you still do to this day, Marcello. That's why I know I chose a good one for a business partner. You're persistent and you work hard, and that goes the distance. That's going to get you places in life.
For sure, man. It is about the work. You got to do the work. I never would have had any of those opportunities if I didn't do the work growing up in paintball. And same with you. You know that. You
Yeah.
never would have been sitting there in Prague with me if you didn't do the work and continue to do the work. It all comes down to doing the work. Um,
Yep.
I'm
That's
not
it.
blind to the fortunate events that, were in place. I mean, being born in California is a big, big plus. We were the mecca.
Same for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Of
Right.
course. Yeah.
So I'm definitely not blind to that, but at the same time, look at Kyle Spica, born in, North
Yep.
Carolina, and he made his way, kind of sacrificed everything to come out and pursue a dream, and is absolutely
Yeah.
crushing it now. And so look,
Yeah.
possibilities and opportunities out there. You just got to do the work. You got to believe in yourself. You got to not give up, and you just got to
Hmm.
chase it, man. You got to chase whatever dream it is that you're pursuing, be real with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, and be passionate, man. Go get it. If you want it, get it. If you need it, make it yours. It's all about just capturing those moments. Hey, I kind of want to close out the show just talking about some PTG news, maybe some new things that we have coming up in the future that people can look out for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So obviously, we have a For the Culture shirt that's going to be dropping here shortly.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. Our boy over at Island Designs is getting that all set up. Also, guys, thank you so much to everyone that makes purchases on the website. We're really sorry about the delay in delivery from the website orders. Again, that's a third-party service that is struggling right now because of COVID. So the wait times are a little longer. But we have really cool designs on there that I love. Obviously, the hat. If you guys are on the YouTube channel, the hats that Tyler and I are wearing are from that website. The shirt I'm wearing is from the website. Tyler's got an HK shirt on by HK.
Buy HK, baby. Let's go.
So sorry if there's a little delay there. If Tyler and I do get any shirts in hand, we make sure we get those out right away for you guys.
Yeah.
It
And
won't
the
always,
delay's not,
it's just
yeah.
COVID and it's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but thank you guys for the support. The support has been amazing. We truly are so grateful. I know we'll say it forever and always. We'll probably
That's right.
get sick of hearing us say it, but I don't care. Tyler doesn't care. Like, we're thankful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some
It's been
exciting
awesome, man. It's been
exciting stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, we have a For the Culture shirt coming out. We're gonna have a few more Play the Game shirts coming out. The idea between all of our merch drops is that we're gonna do a limited run, and
Yeah.
once they're done, we're moving on to the next. We might bring some back, we might not. Who knows? We'll see. It'll depend on the response, but everything is gonna kind of be unique in its design,
Hmm.
and we'll move on to the next batch.
That's
Um,
right.
some other big news is we have Wolf on Monday. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I can't wait to have him on. He's the scenario god, man. I can't wait to just talk about scenario battles that he's been in and like war stories and his training. His training is insane.
Dude, it's insane. Did you see that video of him on a treadmill and all of his
Yeah.
gear? Bro, he's a
I
beast.
know.
That's
It's
great. I
awesome.
love it. Yeah, and it's a whole different side of paintball. I'm excited for our tournament paintball listeners to hear that side because that side of paintball is amazing and it's a big part of our
Yeah.
sport. The biggest part of our
That's
sport,
right.
actually, right? And
That's right.
I'm excited for some of his followers to catch wind of what we're doing and hopefully jump on the
Yeah.
bandwagon and love the show, support the show because at the end of the day, it's all about
Paintball, baby. Let's go. Play the game.
play the game.
Yeah, man. And like we need to get out to more scenario events too. We would love to play those and start getting involved with that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Ty. 100%.
Yeah.
I love them. I just finally got in Wisconsin. I know you're going to Wisconsin soon. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I go out there once a year to this field called Outdoor Adventures. Shout out to the Burnside family. They're absolutely amazing. Always take good care of me. And
Yeah.
they do a scenario event every year now. And last year I was the general for one of the teams.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're going to do that every year, which is absolutely tremendous, right?
I love that. Yeah, I'll be out at a Competitive Edge in Wisconsin, September 5th. If you're in the area out there, get signed up for that clinic. And then I'm actually working on something with you, Marcel. We're going to go to Iowa, I think, and have some fun out there that you're not aware of yet, but I'm just breaking that to you right now.
Oh, I was like Iowa,
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah. No, we're doing Denver next month.
Yeah.
And then also, I'll talk with you about Iowa and shout out to Denver. If you're in the Denver area, we're coming out there next month. Iowa, I think that we're going to be going out there in September to do that. And then Boston, we have Boston in a few weeks. We're doing a clinic out there. If you're in the Boston area, be sure to go to Boston Paintball's Facebook page and get signed up for that event it's the Dynasty 20-year celebration type thing.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's amazing, dude. That's
Yeah.
so fun. Are you kidding me? Big 10-day event, open clinic, and then we have the summer camp. Guys, we do have, I think, one spot left open because someone canceled for the summer camp. So if anybody would like to get in there, hit me up. I might be able to slide you in at a nice little rate. Summer
There we
camp is the
go.
best, dude. It's amazing. So if you're in the area and want to make it happen, hit me up.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Boston. We love that whole area, man. Such a great paintball scene out there. The culture is super lit in Boston. We love playing paintball out there, and everybody has a great time. Also, some more news that we just partnered with Savage Paintball Company, and we're going to be doing some really cool stuff with them. They're making these game boards. Marcello actually has it. If you're on YouTube, you can see we have a custom play the game board that is play the game through Savage Paintball Company, and it's really cool looking. You can check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, these are awesome. They have the whole bunker set, bunker kit. The cool thing about them too is they you can always upgrade the bunkers if that happens. They
Yeah,
are fully customizable. You can get the play the game board, or you can use our code and still get a discount on your own custom board.
nice.
Obviously, the code is play the game. All of our codes will always be play the game.
Yeah,
But with them, so if you want to put your own team logo or whatever you want on there, you can
yeah,
do that. So it's really awesome. We're stoked to be working with them. I use this for visualization. We were talking about visualization.
yeah.
It's huge, man, to be able to have the layout set up on whatever tournament you're going to be playing, so you could just
That's right.
constantly look at it and go through different routines and routes and things like that in your mind. So yeah, man.
Totally. Yeah, it's amazing, dude. And the bunkers that go on the board are like magnetic, so they
Yeah,
stick
yeah,
really
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It's a really cool thing that they're doing with Savage Paintball Company. Be sure to check them out on Instagram at Savage Paintball Company. And we're going to have some play the game boards coming out here shortly. And it's so great for visualization, man. Like
Yeah.
being able to look at that field every day. You come home, it's on your table or wherever you have it, it's on a shelf, and you can look at the field that you're going to be playing for the tournament and be able to think about paintball all the time,
Yeah.
by looking at that layout.
100%, dude. It's hard to beat,
Yeah.
every little inch, right? So I'm always trying to
That's
get
right.
the edge on my opponent, and I know you are too, and that's what it
For
takes.
sure. It's like you feel like a drone. You're like sitting above the field. You can look at
Yeah.
all the different angles. It's amazing what they do with these boards, for sure.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, damn, Ty, we just did almost 2 hours, brother.
Oh boy, has it been? Jesus. It's been
Yeah.
a little bit, huh?
Yeah,
Whoop.
yeah.
There we go.
We
Love that.
fully. Oh, I forgot to record. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, my heart dropped a little bit. Woo!
Got you.
Oh boy. You
No,
did it,
guys.
dude.
Hey, Ty, it was a good one, dude.
Always
love it.
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, baby. And be sure to check out our latest show with Alex Frazier as well. He's live right now and complete legend. You're gonna laugh yourself out of your chair if you listen to that. It's a great show.
Dude. That's 100% great. Yeah. All right, listeners, until the next one, we love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Love you, Team Earth. Let's go.
Peace.
Peace.
Well, that was a really fun show. It's funny. I love when we have guests, but I really love the shows when it's just Tyler and I, because we just get to talk back and forth and have a good time. And it's like we're hanging out off the air almost. That one was almost 2 hours. It was really good. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, you guys could head over to ptgpaintball.com, check out our website, check out some of our merchandise. If you guys would love to be, if you guys want to be a supporter of the show, we would greatly appreciate it. We are so thankful for all of you guys. You guys are truly the lifeblood of the entire thing that we have going on, and to our entire PTG fam, we just continuously thank you guys for the support. Our website was brought to you by Rusty Glaze at Constant Pursuit. Rusty Glaze does a lot of the web design for much of the paintball community. He does really good work. So if you guys are interested or need anything like that, he can definitely take care of you guys at Constant Pursuit. With that said, guys, we're going to be heading into 4th of July weekend. I really hope, and Tyler as well, that you guys have a very safe and fun weekend. We're going to miss you guys, but don't worry. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Early next week, we will be back in the studio bringing you guys tons of action. And again, be safe out there, have fun, and happy 4th of July.